to launch, so keep an eye on the portal as we get nearer to release. If you're planning on tuning in to World of Tanks streams around the launch, there will also be Twitch drops available. But there's already plenty happening across the battlefield in the meantime. This time the action moves to Nordscar, making its debut as a last stand battlefield. You will also encounter new enemy types and several gameplay improvements, while the core experience remains unchanged. Strong teamwork and smart decision making will go a long way.
Thanks, bro.
Last Stand returns later in the month. If you've played the mode before, you will know the drill. Team up with other players, hold back wave after wave of enemies, destroy obelisks, and try to survive against increasingly overwhelming odds. Think you have what it takes to survive? I've seen some of you tackling brutal difficulty in the past. Maybe I'll join you. July also brings celebrations between the 3rd and 15th, inspired by both US Independence Day and Bastille Day. Throughout the event, you'll see themed missions, Twitch drops, discounts, and special offers inspired by both nations. Whether you're flying the Stars and Stripes or the Tricolour, there'll be plenty of opportunities to join the celebrations and earn some rewards along the way. As a Brit, I feel contractually obliged to remain neutral on at least one of those celebrations. Speaking of celebrations, a quick reminder that the football-themed web event, Road to Glory, is still ongoing. As the tournament stages, this is your chance to back your favourite, make your prediction, and earn rewards. Simply head to the World of Tanks portal, join the event, and complete in-game missions to score guaranteed credit rewards and more. There are plenty of themed rewards available, including customizations and a set of unique 3D attachments. I write these scripts ahead of time and can't predict the future, but maybe there's still a chance it's coming home. Me personally, I was just happy to see my home nation in the roster. Either way, now is the time to lock in your prediction. Final rewards, along with winner and consolation bonuses, will remain available until July 22nd, so don't leave it too late. If competitive World of Tanks is more your thing, there are two major events you'll want to keep an eye on this upcoming month. Firstly is the AMD Onslaught Summer Arena, sponsored by AMD and Alienware, bringing together top teams from Europe, the Americas, and China. It's our first real chance this year to see how the regions stack up against one another, with live playoffs taking place on July 11th and 12th, and Twitch drops available for those tuning in. Can Europe defend its reputation? Can an American team rise to the challenge? Or will China set the pace leading into the biggest competition of the year? No matter which region you're supporting, Summer Arena should give us plenty of exciting battles to sink your teeth into. But that's only part of the story. We also have AMD Onslaught Legends Cup number 5. This 7 vs 7 tournament brings together top teams from Europe and North America, with qualification spots for the World of Tanks Championship International in China on the line. And for any aspiring competitors, qualification is still possible. Expect some of the highest level Onslaught gameplay you'll see all year, alongside expert commentary and Twitch drops throughout the broadcasts, with playoffs taking place on August 1st and 2nd. And now, let's talk about the upcoming month's Boosteroid content. If you're making the most of the summer weather or travelling, then it's an ideal way to keep up with World of Tanks. The latest bundle will be inspired by the endurance and determination forged in the heat of desert warfare. Subscribers will receive the unique commander, Len Burrows, complete with enough experience to train one perk, as well as the Astron Rex 105mm. Also included in this month's bundle, 1,000 gold, the Nasher and Jabera Zone decals, experimental equipment, additional experimental equipment components, and a set of battle missions. If you're going to be testing your mettle in Last Stand, then I wish you good luck. Otherwise, have fun following Onslaught and make sure to enjoy if you celebrate US Independence or Bastille Day. That will be all from me for this month. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield.
Do you watch World of Tanks streams? Turn your watch time into rewards. These are in-game rewards ranging from missions and personal reserves to 2D and 3D styles, tokens for the token store, and finally, premium vehicles. To do this, simply link your Wargaming and Twitch accounts. Go to your account management page on our portal. On the right, find the Twitch icon and click on it. Log in through the pop-up window and confirm the connection. Done. And if you play through Steam, first link an email address to your account in account management. Now just tune into streams with the Drops tag. Both the official game channels and streamers will work. Just watch the stream to earn progress, but keep the tab active and don't mute the Twitch player itself. Otherwise, your progress may get stuck. Keep in mind, watching multiple channels at once will not speed up your progress. One stream is enough. You can track your progress in your Twitch profile or inventory. Once the bar reaches 100%, click Claim directly in the notification or in your Drops tab. You have 7 days after the Twitch Drops campaign ends to claim them. After that, unclaimed rewards will expire. And if your progress gets stuck, check that your accounts are linked and disable your ad blocker. Rewards are usually credited almost instantly. If you're already in the game, you may need to re-enter the garage for them to appear. Find the detailed guide on the official World of Tanks website. You can find all current rewards and stream schedules on the portal. So grab your drops, support your favorite streamers, and we'll see you in chat.
If competitive World of Tanks
This is the world's most advanced processor. In entertainment, its rendering speeds render other processors obsolete. Powers cloud services for billions. Helps change the course of climate change. And uses AI to accelerate disease detection and cures. We make the world's most advanced processors, but only with your vision can we advance the world. AMD. Together, we advance.
Yeah, surprisingly. I mean, JWL was probably the biggest upset of yesterday. We thought we'd probably be going into this maybe with 3 European teams and a Chinese team, but here we are, the full EU showdown, and we've got some good games today. Yeah. Everything that you said, I completely and fully agree with. Lots of things going on in the background. So I wasn't fully...
TLDR, hello to the show. Apparently some muting issues. TLDR, hello to the show. EU only affair. JDWL could have made it, and CASHBACK had an easier road into today than Sicarios. There's the 10-second rundown.
Yeah, all right,
in case people missed it.
Well, we've got a fantastic game of Sicarios versus CASHBACK today. They finally made it through, as we saw in yesterday's playday. CASHBACK made it through quite easily, right? It wasn't too much of a challenge for them. Sicarios, on the other hand, they looked a bit shaky, but they did manage to make it through in the end against JWL. So I think our predictions will be probably heavily CASHBACK sided, but let's see what Sicarios have got for us.
I mean, Rishak said, trust the process. So let's see if the process actually comes out today as a success. I did not vote. So he said have some faith, and I think I changed my prediction.
I have no faith at all.
I think I changed my prediction when he said that from 6-3 to 6-2.
I have no faith at all.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't show anything yesterday worthy. And CASHBACK had an extremely good group stage as well. Sicarios got into the group stage, into the playoffs, but with a little bit of luck. So, you know, I don't know. This is the bracket again, though. So we have two bangers. I mean, Mafia and W, that's the harder match there, you would say.
Oh, yeah, definitely the harder match. Like, again, I looked at the predictions. I've said this for the past 2 or less seasons. W are just underestimated at every turn. I think they've won the most OLSs, no? They've won 3 as a team. But yet people still vote for Mafia to beat them or hit and run to beat them or CASHBACK to beat them in the predictions. They've won the most, yet they're never respected. I think I'm the only one who's gone for W to win that match.
It is what it is, though. I mean, Mafia, I think, has the recent results on their side. So we'll take that into consideration as well. Of course, today we got some drops for you prepared as well, with the mystery drop where you could potentially get any of those rewards. Banter is a big Chrysler fan himself, so
love it. Absolutely love it. That is the tank as well that I've definitely heard of and seen before. Love it. Tier 8 is my favorite tier. I am a Hannes and Beer Holland enjoyer.
Of course, the teams are not competing for drops. They're competing for this prize pool where the winner of this match will secure at least 4k euros. That is something that both of these teams would especially like, and also CASHBACK, you know, since OLS was not a really good performance for them, they would like to start recouping some of those losses, you know? Yeah.
Definitely would. I mean, this is no small prize pool, right? I mean, it might not be an OLS season or a WCI, but this is no small amount of money, golden bonds. So, and it's a big prize pool. If you look at I like the fact they showed the total prize pool, right? The 740,000 gold, that amount of bonds.
You could use some of that, huh?
Listen, I am poor on my main. You're saying, oh, my second accounts are poor. No, I'm poor on the main account. I don't play tier 8 strongholds. If I could, I'd convert gold to credits.
Like Keyhand.
Yeah, full refugee. Yeah, but Keyhand, you know, he goes into the matrix. Yeah, full refugee. Yeah, but zero on the end of his gold amount. I can't do that.
Well, the Sicarios team is facing off against this CASHBACK team, and CASHBACK was rolling yesterday. They played the hardest NA team, you could say, and there was, you know, they lost a round. There was a second round I think they could have lost as well. The second ends, maybe should have lost. But it was still very convincing.
It was on their server, though. You need to bear that in mind. It was on the NA server, so they're going to have the ping disadvantage. And I'm still not sure about CASHBACK. I mean, I've given them the highest scoreline to win, right? I think you guys all said 6-2. I've said 6-1. So clearly I do have faith in them. But I don't know. That last OLS season, where they performed so poorly, didn't even make it to playoffs, which is, I think, the first time they never made it to playoffs, with or without Barbarian. So, I don't know. They need to come back stronger than they did in the last season.
For sure. And of course, pointing out that this is a best of 11, guys. Which means that we have 2 bans. CASHBACK banning Pilsen, Sicarios banning Sand River. And then we have a whole lot of picks after that. Cliff into Westfield, into Tundra, into Himmelsdorf, into Ensk, into Ghost Town Tiebreaker to get there. So we're going to start off very fast on Cliff, very fast on Westfield. Potentially very fast on Tundra as well. So these first 6 rounds are gonna come at you with lightning speed for both the viewers and the players as well, because, you know, Cliff 2-minute battle, another 2-minute battle. Westfield lends itself towards that kind of gameplay as well.
Yeah, Tundra being quite a relatively small map. Himmelsdorf as well. Like, you know, there's no Ghost Town is the tiebreaker, but it's normally, you know, we see a lot of Ghost Town, Pilsen. These are kind of the slower maps where we tend to get very long kind of drawn out games. But these maps, as you mentioned, Cliff is 2 minutes. Westfield, it depends. Tundra is a very close range map. Ensk is also a close range map. So we're probably going to see a lot of very fast games here, like you mentioned. But I like these maps. I think Cliff is my favorite map. I like Westfield and Tundra, the maps that are less commonly played. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, talking about fast and slow maps, Sun River not being played removes a lot of that slower kind of gameplay, because that map is either 1 minute or like 10 basically at this point.
Yeah, in the first game we casted JWL against Sicarios, both those games went the length, right? That was a full 20 minutes.
You know how many cliffs you can play in 20 minutes?
Probably what, 10? Because it's 2 minute map. Quick maths.
I'm so proud of me. I mean, 2 minute map, but we got to get back, you know. But yeah, basically 10 cliffs.
The 10 restarts.
Exactly. But on this cliff, we'll see. We expect a lot of aggression coming out from both of these teams. The CS is being banned. The 50B is being banned by Sicarios. Gives us a little bit of a similar but small differences still. RHMs, no, actually, both of these teams going basically identical. The only difference is 1 BZ for a Batcha. CASHBACK bringing an extra bat. Okay, never mind. CASHBACK really switching it out now.
Yeah, the CASHBACK and Weekend, they always like to leave it to the last minute. Not sure Liberty's going to stick that. He wasn't a Tessak. I'd be surprised if he picks Binos on a map like this. TVP as well. TVP is one of my least favorite tanks in Onslaught. When I play in random Onslaught, if we have a TVP, I just say it's an insta-lose go next, because the tank has potential, but it's so squishy, and the fact that you can't really delete anyone really makes it difficult.
I feel like okay. Thought for a second we're gonna restart, but no, it doesn't seem to be the case. Barbarian is actually sitting in the base and waiting it out in the TVP, unless he's just straight up AFK.
CASHBACK have stopped moving. It's a restart.
Okay, it's gonna be a restart. I was already wondering why Barbarian was standing still in the base. Maybe some secret tactic, you know, aiming at the hill, but
yeah, you're gonna blow them up with the TVP.
You do have shots on the secondary.
I know, but it's a TVP, bro. It's like the aim circle's the size of your screen when you shoot, and it's 300 alpha.
And Onslaught is not that bad though, in terms of like aiming circle size. But there's no point why you wouldn't like just do it with a 50B then, if you're sitting in the base anyways.
And the shots aren't great from the base. They're not great.
I mean, it depends on where you're sitting. If you're actually sitting in the base, you have a shot on like the second part, you know, the second crossing.
Yeah.
But if you go like 2-line, you have a position you can shoot them kind of like from the other side, but it's like harder. But it's like not as comfy, you know. From the other side, it's very comfy. You just sit next to that rock and you just aim at the hill, and that's it. You know, the gameplay is very easy. A bit different from North.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the lineups we saw were pretty interesting, right? So 50B was banned. So we see more of a BZ heavy game, which means they're going to be kind of brawling in the middle.
Кринж пишет 0% комеси, а снимает на 20% больше. Дана тилка гавна Кустич, Лега плюс реп.
The maps are slightly different depending on side. North has a little bit better middle and hill. South has a little bit better donut and base positions. So yeah, we can't. That's the thing about Cliff, right? You can't really give anyone an advantage based on lineup, because the lineups are kind of mirrored.
Yeah, I mean, the CASHBACK lineup seemed the one that they wanted to play, though. I'm not really the greatest fan of the TVP in general. In these
I doubt they'll stick it.
I mean, if he does stick it, it's possible. We have seen it on Cliff a few times.
It's playable. I just think, especially since the buffs, 50p is just better. Like the problem with the TVP is in the random queue, because all tanks have less HP. TVP is pretty effective. I remember when it first came out, people called it like a Batchat counter, right? Batchat was the meta, and the TVP trades very good against the Batchat because of the interclip. But the fact that people have so much HP in Onslaught, like up to about 3k, that's going to take 3 clips of a TVP. And I know the interclip is something like 8 seconds with max ability.
Once it gets rolling, it's really good. But like the problem,
I know, but you have to.
You're playing against BZs, so if you make a bad peak, you're like basically dead.
Yeah, and you have to aim every shot against BZ, because the low plate's squishy, but you have to actually aim the shot, right? You can't just auto-aim it and hope for luck. So, I mean, I'm not a fan. I prefer Batchat. I think Batchat has a little bit nicer clip. You're fully aimed for every shot. Obviously, you can peek. You know, with TVP, you can't really peek, go back, peek, go back, peek, go back like you can with Batchat, because Batchat has a long interclip. You have to stay there and stick the clip, which means you're more exposed for shots.
Oh, we'll see. The teams can, of course, change the lineup. They can change the bans. They can change basically everything. So whatever we talked about in the last 5 minutes could all be useless.
They just go and pick like 10
Usually it's not the case.
Pointless.
You know, usually they pick exactly the same thing, but you know.
Well, we gotta say something during the restart.
Sure. Why not?
Sicarios have picked a light this time. I don't think they had that last time.
No, they did.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, both teams had their HM lined up for quite a while, but there's no TVP. It's double bat.
It's interesting though, looking at the light tank lineups though. Liberty going for that more fighting lineup with the rammer. Miku going for the more spotting lineup with low noise and optics. Yeah, as you mentioned, the bat has gone, the TVP has gone Barbarian switching to Batchat, so double bats on their side. So yeah, pretty balanced lineup. Sicarios might be a bit better in a brawl in the middle, but I feel like CASHBACK are not going to give them that. They're going to try and create a bit of crossfire and abuse some angles.
Well, let's see how it plays out. Sicarios has the heavier lineup in general because of the BZs that they have extra as well. One over that Batchat 25T. Miku Liberty both getting decent spots out, enough for a replay, and as well spotting the bulk of either team. Miku going towards the hill. Of course, there's some slight equipment differences between the two. That's why you see Liberty have 2,900 HP, which Miku equalizes immediately, but then starts getting shots from the base as well. It's Aphrodite with a E50M shot from the lower side. Reshrek's taking the through line, but in return, CASHBACK does have the hill.
Yeah, they're doing quite surprised that Miku actually made it there first, because Liberty had the turbo, but Liberty takes the hill, Batchat around the hill taking the strike. Reshek, as you mentioned, in the donut taking the strike. Bit worried for him at one point. There is an E50M on that lower that could re-push it, but right now mid control pretty firmly in Sicarios' hands. Mayo looks like he wants to take that hill. We'll see if he takes any damage for this. Does take one big one from Akka, takes another one from the Batchat in the D4 position. Squeezy, but Squeezy's taking a BZ shot as well, probably from like, so pretty even trades at the moment.
I mean,
but hill control.
Yeah, CASHBACK needs to send somebody back on towards his hill. That's usually the thing. Milo immediately clapping Liberty. Minus 660 on him. Liberty will try to retaliate. Does find a shot, but now you see Little and Mindbreaker starting to edge ahead. Mindbreaker even taking some damage, probably so Little can make it up. But that's a lot of damage received from both of those. Now Click and Adi immediately pushing back towards the hill as well, and the damage is significant from Sicarios on towards Little and Liberty as well, who's down towards 981. Milo dropping quite low himself also. There's still a strike available. Not anymore. That's a really, really good strike.
Yeah, it's a really nice strike. The nice thing about this, though, is triple BC on the hill. They can heal each other with that AoE heal. And Liberty's not very useful in this situation. Click has now caught Barbarian around the hill. Gives him a big one. Barbarian forced to run. So Sicarios, they're doing really well in this first game. They're 1k down. I'm a bit worried for the donut at the moment. We see Rejek there squaring off with the Batchat, and E50M will need to see that engagement later on. But the overpush on the hill is coming, and Liberty's forced to drop off. Little, he's getting blasted. He might have to fully jump just because he can't take another shot. But this donut battle in that corner, Daki, that's really important.
Yeah, Aphrodite and Squeezy pushing up against that single E50M, and the good thing about Little and Liberty is that they're still alive. They're still in the game. Aphrodite taking some damage from behind, but Reshek stuck behind that corner. Squeezy will now line up the RHM, block him off from shooting Aphrodite in the back, grabs his reload, and Aphrodite starting to kill Reshek. Liberty seems to be dying against this 140, trying to stay on spot, but Barbarian coming in to chase away that pesky little 140. And as Squeezy comes off of reload, there's a good strike on towards Aphrodite, and Squeezy and a bounce even on towards Reshek. Reshek now peeking out, gets the shot, but Aphrodite hits it home on the final one. Alex in the meantime finding Mindbreaker in the middle though, and the HP for CASHBACK not that great. They seem to have pushed over the middle, and they have gotten absolutely deleted for that little play.
Yeah, but I think the main point is Mayo still on this hill, still with enough HP to take a BZ shot, and now CASHBACK, they're kind of in this really awkward position where they control the donut, they control behind the hill, but they don't control this middle or the hill itself. So we'll need to see. I think the playmaker at the moment might have to be Liberty. If he can make it out to maybe A6 or K6,
just be careful though, because Milo will have the information tower soon.
Yeah, definitely, but it's just a very awkward game. Squeezy, he's going into the C5 position, might try and get some shots on this hill tank of Mayo. Liberty does get spotted, but now that the info tower has been used, he doesn't have low noise better in mind, so getting to A6 is going to be really difficult. Barbarian has a lot of the HP of his team, basically half of it, but the repush in the meantime, pushing onto Aphrodite. Barbarian's a little bit slow with this move. Looks like he might try and take the hill. If he gets up unspotted, it might not be horrendous, but it's really, really difficult for them to get back into this game.
Barbarian did take the hill. He has Milo there.
Брагінський 100 гривень. Привіт з Луцька, голова. Ебало, що підморгує.
Against Milo, but now they have 4 tanks against the 6 from Sicarios, and the cap is still going, of course.
Yeah, that cap, 20 seconds. Barbarian does have a strike, though. He's going to peek, doesn't get a spot on click. Might blind place it, because he knows the placement of the bushes. Does blind place it, does get that decap, so a bit more time on their side, but the longer this goes on for, the more comfortable Sicarios are going to be in their positions. You see the 140 is taken K5 to cover the hill. The donut is firmly in control. The middle is in control. It looks like that tank has left the cap and might be going up the hill at this point.
Yeah, Click's starting to move up the hill. Barbarian should realize this as well. It's spotted out. Good shot from Milo. Barbarian with the mistake, to be honest. Should not be allowing that shot to come in, and he did. So that's about half the HP of the most healthy tank that they had gone.
Yeah, because obviously Barbarian's the playmaker. Now with the strike as well, that'll put him down to a BZ one-shot. And just about an everything one-shot. So with that, the kind of hopes of dreams of CASHBACK in this round are kind of gone, if I'm honest. There's no realistic way back into this round. I think they made a good play on this donut, but the fact that Liberty had such an awkward game, you know, he takes the hill, but then after that, he just didn't really have a place in this round, right? Because he can't contest the BZs on close range. He can't really do anything around the hill. He can't use what makes a light tank good. So he just, it's kind of like CASHBACK were playing with 6.
Oh, the plane is going to miss Miku. That's so unfortunate for Liberty. Miku was slightly further back, so Squeezy ends up getting outplayed by that. Not that it changes the round, but he was like 2 meters away from the plane. And actually, surprisingly enough, it's Sicarios is going to be picking up the first round.
Yeah, on for my prediction, 6-1. So now CASHBACK just need to win 6.
Yeah, that's not what you want, right? If you predict 6-1.
No, not particularly, especially when it's double points. But I mean, there's some potential here. I'm trying to rethink through the game that we just watched, and I wasn't a fan of what CASHBACK did. You know, they gave up donut control. They decided to play around the hill and for the hill. But the thing is that, you know, the BZ has so much HP, they can just go straight up the hill. And when you give up donut control from north, it's hard to get up the hill because you get kind of farmed on the way up. So I think CASHBACK were always a little bit behind in this game, if I'm honest. I think their opener was... It gave a lot of control to Sicarios. Do you know what I mean?
Milo took the hill relatively free.
Yeah, next to come, he took 1 BZ shot and 1 Batcha shot. That was it. So having like a 2k HP BZ, and then the other 2 BZs went up the hill pretty for free after that as well. So I feel like CASHBACK, they weren't decisive in this game, right? They kind of let Sicarios dictate it, and well, they lose the round because of it.
Yeah, very good from the side of Sicarios. Squeezy 1v1ing against Adi. Yeah, doesn't really fancy that, but Squeezy will probably repeat that. Click finds little in the meantime, though. Miku's coming to help his friend Adi. Squeezy starting to white peak, will be spotted out here in a second. Miku does hit the shot, and now Adi looking to finish it off, but might be Squeezy. Adi actually ends up missing Squeezy in the 1v2 that he cannot win. So he has 1 more bullet, and it's going to be Alex in the 140 to shut him down. And Sicarios, they have 6 players left alive, of which 5 are a deep one-shot. And yeah, no, they pick up the first round. Maybe should trust the process after all.
Yeah, and I think it was deserved, to be honest. You know, in the previous playday, when Sicarios fought JWL, I'd argue most of their rounds were luck. I think most of their rounds were JWL had the game in their hands and they threw it away. But this one was complete control by Sicarios. I think not control is a bit of a stretch, but I always think they were like 51% ahead, right? They took the decisive, they knew what they wanted, they took the donut, they took the hill for minimal punishment, and from there they kind of had full control of the game. So yeah, deserved 1-0, but we got a long way to go.
They have to do it, 5 more times to win the match, so, you know.
Casual 5 more times. Best of 11 is, it's a lot.
Long.
Yeah, it's long. But, I mean, more games for us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's that Isuba player on top for Sicarios.
Uh-huh. Right. Confusing a few, but, you know, it's okay. Not continuing on yesterday's. This was actually a very long cliff, though. Surprisingly long.
Yeah, it was. I mean, both teams set up for a pretty slow game, right? No one went for the brawl. I think Sicarios had more of a brawly lineup. I think they went for the brawl, but CASHBACK didn't. They didn't want to, you know, they didn't want any of that smoke. So they decided to play around the hill, play on positions and angles. You know, one tank lower side, one tank in that little balcony position, one batch head around the hill. The rest of the BZs were pretty passive. So I think Sicarios went for the fight, but CASHBACK just didn't give it, which allowed Sicarios to go up the hill, control the donut, and play a pretty slow game. I mean, I'd say that the game was relatively quick until it got to the point where CASHBACK was had basically lost. They just didn't want to admit it, right? They just wanted to draw it out, maybe because of the tiebreaker rules to decide who gets to pick the side. But yeah, a relatively long cliff compared to the average.
But it worked for Sicarios. And maybe CASHBACK. I mean, it was CASHBACK that set up for the slower game, though, and they ended up losing that because they were not really the ones to try and be proactive. That double batch chat, playing the positions, didn't end up working out. Second round, let's see if they decide to change it up.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the match at the moment. We've seen a lot of mid-fights with BZs recently, right? I think that's the match at the moment, because if you go for that straight fight, and if the enemy doesn't go for the fight, then you can dominate the mid position and go up the hill or cross to the donut. But if you give it up, then you don't have that many options, you know? But anyway, let's go into this one.
50B banned by Sicarios, 40U banned by CASHBACK, triple CS, an E50M, and triple BZ for the side of CASHBACK.
It's a bold lineup, a lot of strikes. I think that lends itself better to a slower game, but Sicarios, triple BZ, double 50M, 1 CS and 1 RHM, more of a fighting lineup for Miku this time. Doesn't have the HP, but still has the low noise and the rammer, so it's an interesting one. I think Sicarios, again, they kind of had that more brawly lineup with the double 50Ms for the DPM. CASHBACK, they want to kind of, you know, death by 1,000 little strikes.
Let's see how much Miku spots. Not that much this time around. Spots only 2, so he has a rough idea. That he knows that there's tanks in 1-2 line, he just doesn't know what.
Yeah, but one of the 50Ms is spotted. Lois had one of the CSs is spotted, but Liberty wasn't spotted, which is important. That now he gets spotted, Alex doesn't connect that one. So strike given, big damage onto Miku relatively because that low HP on the light tank. Barbarian takes a lot going in, but bear in mind it is that BZ, you'd probably prefer it to take the damage.
Now, you can see Sicarios starting to cross over though, coming on towards this corner where Barbarian, Liberty and Aka are trying to scramble to put themselves into good positions. They may evacuate this all together, but Barbarian is being left on the corner. He needs to back away as well if they want to go for this middle kind of play with taking the hill. Around the hill, there is the RHM taking the strike as well. Barbarian missed the memo there, I feel like, for a second. He's now backing away. He does make it behind the corner, but does bleed. And it's a powerful position to have if you're CASHBACK, but down 3000 HP. Barbarian about to die. Clickanati already crossing back over. 1-2 line being pushed out as well by the E50M of Alex, who does seem to be currently winning against Aphrodite quite heavily, even, may I add. And now Clickanati on that cap. The strike, is it going to be enough? It was a mini strike from the CS, so it wouldn't be enough to kill Click anyways, but Mindbreaker gets it instead. And now you can see CASHBACK with that hill position starting to get some pretty good results. Barbarian does go down as expected. 1-2 line lost as well, but another good strike. I'm not sure why Like and Milo are both in that cubby.
Yeah, I think they both wanted to go to can kill Barbarian. It took them far too long to kill him. I think there was a bit of indecisiveness on the CASHBACK side. It looked like Barbarian wanted Little and Mindbreaker to cross over to the donut, then they opted not to, so Barbarian was left there for a little bit too long, but actually worked out for them because Click got absolutely punished going into the middle, and Like died to the strikes when they both crossed over. Both crossing over is a bit of a weird one, but it doesn't seem to have worked out. But HP is still pretty even, and positions are not horrendous on the Sicarios side. Addy's doing pretty well. Mindbreaker doesn't connect that one. Who is that there? Miku is keeping his opponents at arm's length,
Miku's
punishing
killing
Akka
Akka.
in the middle.
Yeah, no, they have nothing. Ooh, good blind from Akka. Very good blind. But in the meantime, he dies to Alex. And now Adi makes a peek, gets the shot on Little. Mindbreaker and Little in return trying to get Adi out. And Liberty's pushing towards Miku. He should be able to get that. Ooh, the strike coming out as well. Does Liberty dodge it? He doesn't end up dodging it. So there's a good strike. And he got killed even. A shot from Alex. And Miku with the finish. The triple combo there. Beautiful stuff from Sicarios. Strike into cover into Miku finding the kill.
Yeah, I thought Sicarios might be in a bit of trouble there, but Miku trying to, well, really playing the MVP. You know, Akka, he couldn't stay safe in the middle because if he goes on the south side of the middle ramp, he gets shot by the E50M of, was that Rejek or Alex in the south. If he goes on the north side of the ramp, he gets shot by Miku in the light, so it's kind of a catch-22. And he goes down, and they really have to push this light tank, but they just didn't manage to do it. And with that, they kind of win the game. So you can kind of see Miku being the MVP in this one, really allowing Sicarios to punish CASHBACK on angles. Even now, he's kind of poking Mindbreaker.
Might even find another. He does. Finds two on Mindbreaker. Strikes coming out as well. Mindbreaker does find the kill on Miku though. And Alex takes the shot from Little. Squeezy's on the hill. Mistakes from Sicarios. And
so 3v3 now is very playable. Alex can die to a strike at any time. Squeezy does have a strike. It's not a big strike, so it won't do 250, but Alex can die at any time. This is Sicarios kind of throwing here.
Squeezy's not that far away from a level 3 strike.
No, he's not. He can definitely, with this...
he gets points from that. It's not that much.
Not enough, yeah. But he can always drop off the hill and go take the striker. I think that would be too much HP out of the game, but...
He kind of has to. Little needs to back away. They're about to kill Mindbreaker. Not yet, because they need to wait for the strike. But I think Squeezy is forced to... It wouldn't cross over, personally, but, you know. Yeah, he's going to the strike. He will make it to the strike.
But he's going to be out of game for a very long time, and he has most of their HP. In the same time, Mayo can always repush the middle, kill Mindbreaker, and they can collapse on Little.
Milo doesn't win that, though, because he takes a shot from Mindbreaker if he pushes down.
Yeah, but with Rejek as well.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, it's playable still for Squeezy after, because as long as Mindbreaker hits, they're not arriving the middle with much HP. Either Milo's a one-shot or Rejek's a one-shot.
Yeah. But this is really, I don't know, this is Sicarios hurting themselves. It's a bit of a
Squeezy needs to do the combo now.
Yesterday.
He has both the info and the strike. It's a bit harder for him because of that. Milo peeking out, spots out Little. If he hits this shot, they're going to kill Little with the strike.
Ooh, he does hit it. But he will...
Ooh, he heals, so they wasted the strike.
Threshold.
They wasted it. They wasted it because of it. Little survives. That's not great because he's 68 HP.
But Mayo didn't take any damage, so it's not actually that bad.
Oh,
ooh, Alex dodges it as well. That's huge.
Aye.
But this game of throws at the moment.
No longer really playable.
Yeah, not really. If Alex dies, it's very playable. But now all Rejek is going to do is wait for that strike and kill either Little or Mindbreaker. They now are kind of forced into making a play and hope they can deal a shot of damage before they go down. Little, I think he's a bit concerned if he's not even looking straight ahead, which is a bit strange. Okay, now he is. But yeah, I think Squeezy
bounced.
Yeah, I think they know it's over. They're just kind of going in.
Yeah, now they're gonna push towards Squeezy. Of course, Milo should find the finish. Alex finds Mindbreaker, good angle, and yeah, this end game. Not
making it harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, no, but not it's from both teams. You know,
yeah,
Sicarios giving sides. It, and Little then sitting in the open. Of course, Milo hits the shot, which is you know, good on Milo, makes him a one shot. But that's also like kind of game losing for CASHBACK.
Well, Milo should have probably taken two shots, right? The first shot I think went either missed or went into the the first shot missed, and the second shot went into the tracks. So Milo should have taken minimum 1 shot in return, and he took nothing, and dealt a shot of damage to whoever the CASHBACK BC was. So not great by both sides. I mean, Sicarios threw, then CASHBACK threw harder.
Yeah, but somehow Sicarios up 2-0.
Yeah, but I don't know. This is a concern for Sicarios. We're seeing a bit of the Sicarios we saw yesterday, right? Where you're kind of throwing some of your games, but they managed to win it. It's the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, you have to say congratulations to them. I mean, we look at the damage. Rejek and Alex, the DPM mediums, they got out a lot. Miku as well. You can't snub nearly 4K in a light tank. So it's a solid performance, but they got to keep it up.
I mean, they got to keep it up, and it's a long run.
Yeah.
CASHBACK did pick Cliff, though.
More.
So, you know, CASHBACK really wanted to play Cliff his first map. It's not gone that well for them.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen CASHBACK on Westfield yesterday. I don't think they showed us anything crazy against... Was it Dopamine? I believe it was Dopamine. So I think CASHBACK can now... You know, this map has been in the pool for long enough where you can... And I don't think they played it enough last season, where they might have some interesting strats. I'm surprised that CASHBACK picked Tundra, by the way.
I mean, you gotta pick the maps at some point, right?
Well, true. But I mean, if
I
you have
think
a
the bigger
choice...
surprise is, yeah, that they didn't pick Ghost on.
And they banned Pilsen. I think at the start of last season, you know, the first game of OLS Season 6, the first game CASHBACK played was against Sicarios, and they beat them 2-0 on Pilsen. I remember that. So it's quite a surprise they opted to ban it.
Well, you gotta deal with what you picked. Now they gotta do better on Westfield for sure, because Sicarios looking a lot better than their GWL match. The end game of the second cliff was a bit more like it, but it ended up alright. Westfield, however, can again be played very fast, but also can be played a bit slower. Depends if the teams want to brawl or not.
Yeah, depends if they want to both go up a side or if they want to play a slower game. I feel like CASHBACK being 2-0 down, I think they're going to play a slower game. I think they're going to take the light tank and try and control the game a little bit more. I mean, they could go for a straight brawl and play a skilled out, but I just have a feeling they're going to be picking that RHM and trying to control field side, control the strikes, and try and bully Sicarios.
I mean, maybe the triple Leo comes back, you never know. It's a possibility, like W inspired, you know?
W inspired, the full rat tactic.
It's a possibility, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It's going to be Dravids banned by Sicarios and 140 banned by CASHBACK. You could see both teams kind of orientating in different ways, but towards the brawl still. Triple 50B for Sicarios, BZ, a Mivi, a CS, and an RHM.
Yeah, on the CASHBACK side, going the opposite of what I said before. Going actually for that straight brawl. Triple BZ, double Mivi, and double Blisker. That's a full upper side brawl lineup if I've ever seen it. But triple 50B, I think Sicarios have a job to do. Triple 50B against CASHBACK's lineup is very difficult.
Some split from Sicarios. The B's backing away to not get spotted, but they realize as well that there is no plane because they spotted 7 tanks from CASHBACK.
I'm really surprised that Like is going to that corner. I'm curious how.
Yeah, I would
what
not
the
go either.
50B's
If they
plan
just
is.
keep going, if they just keep going with these BZs, the game is over.
Yeah, the 50Bs won't be in position in time. They don't connect the shots on the crossing. Will they opt to just continue? It looks like they are. So Mindbreaker, Liberty, and Akka, they all triple boost. They all go into Like. And what are these 50Bs going to do? Because I don't think they're going to be able to get out enough damage. They're not in position at the moment. CASHBACK are not ready. Sicarios are not ready for this.
Barbarian is backing away slightly, but I don't like... He's not backed away just enough, in my opinion. Look where he is. He's on the 3-4 line. In that Bliskavica. He's about to get surprised by the triple 50B. That is kind of giving a kill back, in a way.
Yeah, Barbarian definitely had enough time to leave that. And he dies. That basically makes it an even trade. Yes, now the Bs are on reload. But, well, I mean, because they're on reload, you see CASHBACK, they're so good at this. They're so fast, you know? They know the Bs are on reload, so why not push into Alex? But Mindbreak is kind of doing this alone. His other BZ friend is not in position just yet to support. And Mindbreak is going to lose this unless Liberty comes in and gives some good shots out. Strike as well is going to get given. Double strike, that's a small CS strike as well. If Alex can connect shots, he can kill Mindbreaker before this ends.
I think Liberty might even die. He needs to push him down. Mindbreaker needs to open up a little bit. Or sorry, Liberty needs to open up for Mindbreaker. Mindbreaker definitely dead. Mindbreaker might ram him. Yep. Yeah. Yup. So yeah, when the dust settles, they do kill this Mivi, but that BC at A5 is going to get harassed by the light tank and a 50B. If you look at the 6-7 line, the bigger problem right now is only a strike for restrike. That's it. They don't have any big strikes. One reset.
Yeah, and also the fact that they have 50 Bs now, they have no real meat in the lineup. Plane gets used, Squeezy opts to leave it. Strike misses though, so 25 seconds. Mayo is going to need to get this decap. I think he has an angle. Shoots Squeezy, but Squeezy left the cap. Squeezy does not have the cap points at the moment. It's Aphrodite and Akka with that cap, so Mayo needs to connect this. He does. So 20 seconds now, but the fact still remains, these 50 Bs, they're really awkward.
Yeah, but the problem is that Liberty is about to die against... Ooh, Click misses on the first one though, so he'll need help from the RHM. Now there needs to be a reaction from CASHBACK. They have to do something.
Click misses the second. He has the destroyed gun, so a little bit less accuracy. But Click is now on reload.
Yeah, Liberty is going to give 2 more shots, and Akka and Aphrodite are crossing. Milo is staying. He needs to run right now. Click seems a little bit... Oh, Liberty, does he boost out? He does! Beautiful dodge from Liberty.
Yeah, but Akka and Aphrodite are unspotted.
Yeah. Keeps Click honest and keeps Click in the neighborhood, and Click's about to be deleted from this neighborhood. Came to an HOA and he's not following the rules, so he's going to be kicked out. That's pretty sad for him. He is dead.
Doesn't connect another one. Click is bouncing far too many of these. He bounced 2 on Liberty and 1 on Aphrodite.
He had to run away. He had to run away at that point.
Yeah, but he didn't spot them coming.
Sure, but Milo realized, you know, look at him.
Yeah, but if Milo just sits there, the Liberty's going to overpeak him and just give him damage. Milo runs for a reason. I think Click wanted to just stay and do his clip, but...
Gotta respect the part where they can cross to. If they're not on the cap, they're doing something.
Well, yeah, this is also true.
So I think now CASHBACK has control. And in this game, it's been another game of a lot of openings from either side. Barbarian did not need to be where he was anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
So, like he was backing away, and then he moved back in a little bit. But when the triple BZ is boosting A3, and you don't see any tanks, and the BZ, you're like, well, he's gonna die for free. You know, you gotta be like, where's the rest of the team, bro?
Yeah, and the fact that it's 50 Bs works well in Sicarios' favor in that scenario. We see Aphrodite
he would live like 10 seconds longer if it was not 50 Bs, you know?
Yeah. But if Miku gets a clip into Aphrodite here, the game might open up. You can see he's looking for an angle. Plane goes down, but Aphrodite is using the terrain, squeezing that Blitzkrieg. He's pushing Adi, so Adi will get out his clip, but that's about it. He's going to need to run. That's going to force Miku away. And now the kind of heavy metal of CASHBACK coming into play and punishing them.
Look at Aphrodite. Like, he waited long enough that Miku was rotating because the other 50B was getting pushed, and then he pushes the RHM. After all, Miku is now trying to go back, and that doesn't work anymore because his 50B is dead. He can't cover Milo because he's moving. So it was a good timing there from CASHBACK. Well synchronized, and they will be picking up the first round here on Westfield. And would say it's deserved.
Yeah, I think there was a scenario where Sicarios has some potential. I think if Click connects his 2 shots into
and then starts running away, yeah. Then
but he connects the 2 shots, kills him. Then Mayo would just be in the bushes spotting them coming, and he wouldn't even need to run away. Like, he needs to. Look, it's a BZ on close range. You got to connect it. Just take the hit and make the clip. Because I think if they make the kill, this is a different game. I think they win on the sheep again. But I think they win this game if Click connects all of his shots into Liberty, kills him. Mayo's spotting the approaches and spotting the cap. Because then there's nothing to catch, right? The reason
definitely
CASHBACK...
a possibility. If they killed that BZ, yeah. And CASHBACK wasn't crossing instantly. They took a while to decide to cross over. I mean, Rishrek's still trying here a little bit. Puts the mini strikes where he needs to shoot. He does. He will die in return to Rishrek, but they end up picking up the round indeed. Is that a reverse sheep? Why is there reverse sheeps?
Was he upside down? My VMix was lagging a little bit.
There was a sheep upside down.
Well, you know, it is Scotland.
Or
The other area, that's where Ian lives. All right, you ask him why there's upside down sheep.
we explain a lot. I'll ask Barry as well. You know, there's a lot of sheep in Wales.
Yeah, yeah, but they do different things to the sheep.
Like cuddle them. Yeah.
Exactly, cuddle them.
Take good care of them. 6.3 from Liberty. Very, very good amount of damage. I will say though, he missed a shot on the Mivy in the beginning when driving down, which is also kind of impactful because I don't think Alex kills Mindbreaker in that case, you know? Like, I don't think they kill each other. I think Mindbreaker is still alive. Liberty came in, he did get around, but he missed a shot. That's like 2 shots from Alex.
Yeah,
Even more.
maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference.
Mindbreaker would be alive for a while.
Oh, but Mindbreaker was getting farmed in the side by the light. You see Mayo is almost 5k. Like, it's a really nice amount of damage from the light. He had a very good game. He was just kind of let down from his team. I'm just not sure what the plan was by Sicarios. I mean, what's the plan if you don't catch Barbarian? Because light just dies
You
for free.
just lose.
And then,
you literally just lose, bro. Like,
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
They go onto the cap, they force you somewhat close, and they just push off at 7 tanks.
Yeah, and it's 50 Bs.
Yeah, and because you lost the tank already, you cannot hold the push anyway. Like, they'll just push one side, and they can even push your CS and C1. It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to lose.
Yeah, 100%. Like, this is what I'm wondering. Like, what's the plan? I think they didn't anticipate. I mean, this is the game that Dopamine wanted yesterday, right? I think if CASHBACK do this against Dopamine yesterday, Dopamine could have been very happy, but instead they do it against Sicarios and they win a game. But again, it's a shaky game, right? CASHBACK weren't dominant in this one. They almost lost it. So in a scenario where CASHBACK's lineup, I think, was better than Sicarios, right? It was a really hard lineup for Sicarios to work with. The only reason it kind of worked was because they got Barbarian for free, and then CASHBACK were forced into a move because the 50Bs were on reload, so they pushed Alex. But the thing is, they got farmed by that high DPM Mivy plus the high DPM light tank on the side, and they kind of only really won the game because of Click's mistakes. So I don't know. I haven't seen enough from CASHBACK to tell me that they're playing well and they deserve to win right now.
If they win the second round of Westfield, then however, it will just be even Stevens moving into the next map, and then it's just a best of 7, you know? Yeah,
very true. I mean, if both teams lose 2-0 on their own map picks, it looks a little bit stupid, but you know, you need a bit of luck in World of Tanks. But from what I've seen so far, I think Sicarios have actually been the better team. So, I mean, they definitely should have lost this one, but Barbarian made the mistake, so we move on, right? 1-for-1 trade. But now we'll need to see. Do CASHBACK want to play full upper side again, or do they want to switch it up, play the light tank, and play a bit more control? I mean, South Spawn gets a little bit better field, in my opinion, right? Because of the bridge. It allows you to hold on the red line a lot better than from the other side. So you might see CASHBACK up to put Liberty in that light tank and see what he can do.
As long as they don't go back to the Liberty Tessak, I'm okay.
I like Tessak.
I feel like every time I've seen them play Tessak on Westfield, they've lost. So
on Westfield, yeah. No.
Yeah. So, battle. Rheinmetall banned by Sicarios. 50B banned by CASHBACK, actually.
Yeah, the bit of Barbarian was a bit traumatized from the previous round, maybe. But lineups, Sicarios, triple BZ, triple Mivy, and a Tessak, so gives a lot of versatility in that lineup. You can do a lot with it. I kind of like it. CASHBACK, triple Dravik, 140 Bliska, and Tessak as well, so it's going to be a battle of the pew-pews.
Well, like I said, every time I've seen them play Tessak, I've seen them lose, so this is going to be the case.
Openings, nearly full info.
Good plane.
Yeah, it's a very good plane.
Liberty gets 6 right. He's just missing Miku. Miku didn't use his plane, no?
Yeah, I don't think he did. So Miku still has a plane, which is a risky one, actually. Aka Mindbreaker going into that bowl. Full info used. They know about Miku. Miku's going to try and take this northern info tower. We'll need to see if they can make it work. Click taking even more damage, actually. But the sniping going on from Sicarios onto those backline tanks. Tessak of Liberty is shooting into Click. We'll see if he can decap him. But opening-wise, Click taking even more. It's not great.
It's a CASHBACK doing pretty well here, to be honest, in this start. They have A3 with 2 Dravets. You know that pushing that is going to be hell, and you have that triple BZ on that secondary strike. Sicarios has done some good damage in return as well, but now Milo sent drive down. The strike comes out. Did not hit that much. I think only one. Pushing towards Liberty is Milo, and Liberty does get proxy spotted here, so maybe not the greatest movement from Liberty in the Tasak. And like I said, every time I see them play Tasak, they've lost, and it's a good shot from Milo against Liberty, who is now booking it out of there. In the return, though, Aka taking A1 away from them, and you can see even the Dravets from A5 starting to leave. They're trying to pull the Sicario team apart with rotations.
Yeah, I don't like the way Sicarios using BZs. BZs are a very bad tank. They just have a high alpha and a lot of HP and a booster. You kind of want them to boost in, take hits, and then the Mivies do DPM, but they decided to play the buildings and just bleed a lot. And now that allows CASHBACK to move forward and kind of bully these Mivies because all of their HP is out of the game. They're chasing that Tesak of Liberty, and Miku's even losing that 1v1. But looking at this, yes, CASHBACK looked good at the beginning. They are starting to bleed now, but that crossfire from Akka is going to be deadly on Tadi.
Even the 140 now is starting to move in on the outside. It's Squeezy getting restrike called out, who had to leave the area, evacuated it because he realized he couldn't win the fight, but instead he's going to die against the other guys, being the Bliska, the 140, and the rest of the CASHBACK team pushing back in. They brought all the tanks back towards the upper side. They won the high ground and just started peeking these tanks from Sicarios, who were disjointed and getting discombobulated there in that area. Good round for CASHBACK, to be honest. Like, yeah, Liberty got caught a little bit, but the reaction was very, very good. Taking back the positions, getting above them, never letting those Mivies who really need to play hold down. It's a good move.
Yeah, it was a very good move, but I feel that Sicarios didn't do the doctrine of the BZ right. You know, BZ, you've said it so many times, BZ is a terrible tank. It really is. It's got a horrible gun. It's got 1,000 weak spots. The only advantage is it has a booster, reasonably high alpha, and a lot of HP. So what do we use it for, right? We use the booster to get to the mid on cliff, and then you kind of just trade while the E50Ms do DPM. What you want with a BZ is you want it to go up and over with the booster, do its shot, maybe it does a second shot. It has a lot of HP, so it lives for a while and takes hits, and you want other tanks to do DPM. So what did Sicarios do here? They sent 3 Mivies to the kind of hill. They put the BZs in between the buildings where they kind of got poked and prodded by the Dravetses. They all get out-traded because the gun is so bad. And I just don't think they used their tanks correctly.
At the same time, I don't know if Miku holding the plane is that advantageous for them.
Yeah,
because
same.
now they had no clue about the double tank going to A3. Like, they had no info on like really what was happening, like the split from CASHBACK. You're sending the BZs blind towards the second strike to look for a fight, but there was no fight.
Yeah, completely right. There was just no fight, and the tanks that Sicarios had didn't suit the engagement. I thought Liberty played very well in his light tank, played much better than Miku, as you can see in the damage, right? Even when Miku went for Liberty, he got out-traded. Liberty used his plane in the beginning, which gave Sicarios a lot of info. I just think CASHBACK, they set up, they got the info, and they made decisions based on info, and I think they had their tanks better placed. You know, the tanks from the red line, they came forward in a perfect timing and caught out the Mivies, and yeah, this was just a better played game by CASHBACK.
And it's all even, which means we can just simply forget about the first 2 maps and now look towards the future. Tundra, Himmels, and Ensk are the upcoming maps, with Tundra being the first. We've went from a best of 11 to a best of 7. No clear victors just yet, but CASHBACK brought themselves back in the match at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one where Cliff, you would expect CASHBACK to be a bit more dominant, right? The Ukrainian teams, they tend to be very high on player skill and coordination, but less about strats than the traditionally EU teams, right? That's how I've always seen it. And Cliff is a map where it's a lot about player skills, a lot about individual decisions and working in a team to make crossfires and things, but they lose that one. Westfield is not a traditional 7v7 or OLS map. It's only been reasonably recently introduced, so CASHBACK winning that one is interesting. Now we go into Tundra as well, kind of similar to Westfield, not traditionally a 7v7 map, only introduced in the last few OLS seasons, so but a close range map. as well, and that can make a big difference.
Yeah, Tundra, you know, if it's played in a pure brawl, it should be CASHBACK favorite.
What was the score yesterday? Because Sicarios played it yesterday against JWL, didn't they?
They lost.
There was that double 50B trap, you remember? That caught out Frugo. So Sicarios won one game.
Yeah,
at
they
least.
lost the other one against the double bat.
Yeah, the double bat who went the long flank.
They should have lost both games though, Sicarios.
Yes.
Because no, they lost Milo on the 4 line and JWL left Frugo, or Frugo stayed too far forward in the turn. So it was not really a great performance from them.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, that 50B trap. I think they kind of stumbled into a good repush. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the 50B, maybe that was the plan all along, right? Just re-pressure with the 50Bs, catch out Frugo, the MVP, and kind of dominate the game. But either way, going into Tundra.
Ban Draves from Sicarios for TURNIR from CASHBACK gives us double 50B, double BZ, double Mivi, and a CS63 for Sicarios.
Yeah, CASHBACK, double BZ, 1 CS, 150M, 140, and double Bliska. Bliska's kind of fell out of fashion a little bit for a while, but they've kind of come back in. Sicarios playing more of the new meta that we saw introduced in OLS Season 6. I think it was Weekend who started it with the the 50Bs and the Mivis. Like high amount of Mivis on the kind of 3, 4, 5 line rails in the north, but we'll need to see differences in playstyle. Those Bliskas can be brutal no matter what, but double 50B going wide, that's a bold one.
In the beginning, see Milo and Miku lining up the shots, not really getting but receiving some. In return, they get one against Aka. The double 50B indeed going through the flank, and look at Little. If they... Oh, Alex is spotted out though, so maybe not that much of a surprise. I thought maybe they could go for Little unspotted, but yeah, Little's gonna boost away now, no?
Yeah, he should boost away. I doubt he's going to stay there, but he is being reinforced by Mindbreaker, so maybe they want to kind of pressure these 50Bs away. The jig is kind of up with those.
This is double strike lost, normally.
Yeah, it is. Squeezy is right on the edge of that, so he can leave if he just gets striked. He is spotted, but no strike on the Sicario side. And now it's kind of this awkward thing, right? The 50Bs have been spotted.
Даня,
They're known
200
about.
гривень. Спасибо за творчество, контент топ, смешно і свежо, очень нравиться, продовжай плюс я все ще жду жорсткого конфлікта з помніюча.
Yeah, Rishik has a mini strike to reset the second round of strikes if they want. Back in the meantime is rotating as well, and if Sicarios group up too much, good shot there from Aka. If Sicarios groups up, that strike potential goes through the roof, to be honest.
Yeah, and they are repressuring. The 50Bs are rotating. Looks like, will they stay at the bridge? Yes, they opt to stay at the bridge. Info Tower is being taken in the north, so Sicarios do have to move up their timeline. Aka getting out-traded there.
Here come the 50Bs, across the bridge comes Adi and Alex on towards Aka. Mindbreaker starting to line it up. Will the strikes go onto that area? Is a good question. In return, re-pressuring in the north is Sicarios, and Aka actually makes it back. One strike gets used. The second one still yet available for Aphrodite, and Adi and Alex have not found Aka whatsoever. They're bailing out of that scenario now, which means they just reset the fight, losing a lot of HP in the process. The CS63 now joining for the side of CASHBACK. That's along the A line, and now Little coming back in with Mindbreaker as well. They know that these 50Bs are not good thanks for this fight. Nico being pressured back as well. There is the secondary strike. Hits on two. Like and Milo are the ones. Barbarian now taking a strike as well, and the timer here for Sicarios is ticking against them, because once that strike gets taken, it's another additional layer of damage that will be put on towards their tanks, and you can see that 50B from Adi not having a good time whatsoever. Not really the greatest tank for this map, and the bleed is significant on the Sicarios side. They're about 5,000 down. They haven't lost a gun yet. Make that one as Adi goes down, and I think they're just gonna be bullied back now by this CASHBACK team, who smell a victory in the air. Sicarios pushed down towards this lower side. A strike coming out as well, although that's a mini strike from the CS Barbarian, just driving forward because he knows this game is over. And this double 50B from Sicarios, not convinced.
Yeah, one of those fool me once. I mean, it worked against JWL, but it worked because of a very specific scenario. 50B is a fantastic tank, but we all know that, especially with the changes. It's one of probably the most satisfying tanks in the game, but you need it in a specific engagement, and this just wasn't it, right? They're peeking onto Akka, but the thing is that they can't make their full clips out with ability because I can go around the corner, and then they just get kind of slowly poked down, you know, 600 here, 600 there, and eventually they're down to less than 1,000 and can barely get out their clips. And yeah, the HP is pretty close. Part of that is because we saw a suicide at the end, but...
And it's a brawl on Tundra at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. I don't know what to say about it, really. It was kind of just Sicarios wanted to do something. They couldn't do anything with the 50Bs, and they were forced into a North repush that just got out-traded.
You're hoping that there's something in the... I think the double B could have maybe worked if they somehow stayed unspotted and went for Little when he was in the middle. You know, but then Alex got spotted. Little was alone for a little while. If you could capitalize there, then maybe you could do something with it, right? But when Alex gets spotted out, you could see immediately there's a Bliskavitsa starting to rotate to cover him. So you get nothing really out of the 50B surprise factor.
Yeah, exactly. And then, because you get nothing out of it, and CASHBACK are aware the 50Bs are there, they kind of set up for it. And that's the thing about 50Bs. You want something else to take the hit, and then the 50Bs come around the corner and you delete, but that's just not really possible. Because a lot of this map is in the north, where the strikes are, is about hold down. And 50Bs can't do hold down. The turret is huge, it's made of paper. So it's not a good engagement for the 50Bs, and you can see it in the damage, right? Addy makes a full clip. Alex does make a little bit less than 2 clips, probably about 7 shots. The M5Y has performed poorer than I would have anticipated, but yeah, there just wasn't much going on in this game for Sicarios from start to finish. It didn't look like there was that much of a plan.
No,
or at least a backup to the plan.
Yeah, like this repush later on, it's really hard because they are the ones forced to find an opening with those 50Bs, right? You have to find something. Because CASHBACK has double strike, and CASHBACK will get another double strike, and CASHBACK will get another double strike, and they're very happy with waiting out however long it takes Sicarios to make a move. And Sicarios has to make it before the second set of strikes gets taken, because if you play against 4 strikes on Tundra and you have to push, you are getting annihilated.
Yep, getting annihilated. But now, back to Tundra, swapping the sides. I think these community predictions are a touch harsh, but now we're kind of seeing that dominant CASHBACK coming back after that 2-0 anomaly on Cliff. And CASHBACK in the last 3 rounds, they have been in control. I have not really felt that CASHBACK have struggled in these previous 3 rounds. I think that first 100, they made it harder on themselves than they needed to. But these last 2 games have been much better from CASHBACK.
And it's starting to be a worrying trend for Sicarios. You know, they won the first 2, and now they are losing the next 3 in a row.
Yeah, and that's kind of, that kills the momentum, right? So it means they can't capitalize on. I mean, going up 2-0 on Cliff, I think you're riding a bit of a high there, right? Because Cliff is one of those 50-50 maps where it's, you know, you kind of roll the dice. How many did they have up? How many did they have down? And then you make decisions after the 30-second mark once you get info. But now losing your map pick and as well losing the first round on Tundra, it's not great. They're kind of doing these surprise strats, but with the 50Bs kind of wanting to surprise the same way they did against JWL, but they're just not finding any success with it.
Let's see if they decide to go for a old-fashioned brawl here on Tundra. I can feel maybe both teams opting to fight this time.
Yeah, I think Sicarios have to maybe stop with the weirdness and just kind of go for it. But they are opting for the 50Bs again.
Double 50B for Sicarios, double BZ, a Dravet, a K91, and a 140.
Yeah, CS and Bliska being banned by both of these teams. So CASHBACK, double BZ, triple Mivi, a 140, and that trusty Tessak. Quite surprised that CASHBACK would opt to ban the Bliska. I would have anticipated that would be a Sicarios ban, but with CS being banned, it means there's not that many strike medium options, which would make me think they want to play North. But the thing is that they have the K91, the 50Bs. Not really sure what Sicarios wants to do, to be honest. Their lineup's really weird for the east side of Tundra.
Yeah, that the Sakuni spots too. I think they also, I mean, they immediately CASHBACK knows that what is happening here is that Sicarios is again playing south because the double BZ doesn't go there with tanks in the north. They will try to take the info point, but I think with like and the 140, it's going to be really hard to do that with Rishek as well on the south already. That CASHBACK is not going to be able to take that information tower right now. But they're also not really going to be able to get caught out because they spotted the double BZ in the beginning. So Click and Miku can aim at the crossing, but there's not going to be a crossing.
Yeah, and even then, we saw it in the previous play day where JWL did the bats around. They were aiming the crossing. Ooh. Was that HG?
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah, it might have been like on the hill. But, or Reject maybe, but yeah, the 50Bs, they're keeping the 50Bs very far back. So it kind of feels like they want to make a trap with them, but I don't know, we saw in the previous game it didn't work. So now what? Because Mayo was taking a decent chunk of damage to take that under position.
50B spotted again. One of the 50Bs was spotted in the south.
Yeah, so that's kind of, you know, those 50Bs can't get spotted. You have to use them as a trap.
Sicarios was baiting here to play similar like against JWL with those 50Bs, and but now the 50B got spotted in the south. So, I mean, if CASHBACK was to play like JWL and repressure Milo, they're very much aware that there's a trap of 50Bs.
Yeah. And the thing is as well is that I think CASHBACK are a bit more experienced, you know? Like, why do they need to refresh the south? They have all of the strikes. Why not just keep taking them? Especially with this double BZ. And I think now that the jig is a bit up, they're dropping onto Mayo, but the damage is decent. It wasn't that good at the start, but now it's really good. Barbarian takes a lot. The last shot misses. Mayo might be able to kill Barbarian, who has the reload. He does. So that's not a bad trade, actually, for Sicarios.
No, it's not, but there's also more damage being dealt to the 50Bs, though, at the same time. I mean, Alex and Adi dropped quite a bit as well, but the HP is very, very close between the two at this point, but the strikes have reset.
Yeah, and the 50Bs are out of game now. You can see the Mivy of Little, he's joining Mindbreaker, and it looks like they want to repressure this northern position. The 50Bs are going to need to scramble to get back into position. They're just so far away. Click now being isolated. He's forced to run while Mindbreaker goes and takes the strike. Yeah, double strike being taken again. There's nothing denying that. Like getting kind of pressured away by the machine gun. We'll see how much damage he takes. It's not horrendous, 500, but as you mentioned, double strike being taken. Like spotted again, but shots are just not connecting in on him. But now what? You know, you've lost one of your armored heavies in Mayo.
Yeah, and you reset the strike once, but
then he gets it again, and they already have one strike on Akka. And the thing is, now that they have the strike on Akka, they can just wait. The Tessak at Liberty can go and take it whenever he wants. Sure, you can get 1,000 info towers. It's not going to make a difference when every few minutes you're taking 850 on both of your armored tanks, right?
And Alex, in the meantime, down to...
lot.
Do they have the strike to kill him? They didn't. Yep. Yep. There he goes. He's dead. And now I would say the round is in a definite
unwinnable.
Closure. Yeah, because they're up a gun, they have double strike control, and Sicarios has to come with 4,000 HP down.
Yeah, I don't know. You do it against JWL, it works. I think there was a bit of luck that it worked against JWL, because Frugo made the mistake. Now you do it once against CASHBACK, it doesn't work. It doesn't work spectacularly, to be honest. The previous game wasn't close. And then you do it again. There's a point where you got to think, all right, lads, it's not working. Let's do something else. Because they've tried the same thing 3 times, and it hasn't worked.
Why would Sicarios not be able to win a brawl against CASHBACK? You know?
Yeah, completely true. I think, you know, on the cliffs, they went for a brawl. It was CASHBACK who didn't give them a brawl.
Yeah.
So
and CASHBACK lost those games as well, where they didn't
exactly.
go for a brawl. But now, I mean, there's a good push here on towards Akka. He's a little isolated right now, but they just so much down in terms of HP. Rishek is not going to be able to kill this BZ in a one-on-one, really. And Click and Miku are looking for a shot, but Akka is in the low ground there behind the dip. Aphrodite peeking out now as well, wants Rishek to be deleted from this battle. He's pushing up, he'll take some more damage. K91 getting blocked off by Akka. We will give him a shot as well, hopefully. Nice shot there from Akka on towards Like down towards 362. And now the BZs and that singular 50B, the last one standing. And this non-brawly game style not really working out for either of the two teams. Not working for CASHBACK and Cliff, and definitely not working for Sicarios on Tundra. This means that now we have a 4-2 for CASHBACK.
Смотрите, мы их откоптили. Вот, держите, откоптили. Ха-ха, вот так.
50B Avadi now spotted, manages to kill Aphrodite, but that should be just about all he gets in this game.
Смотрите, мы их откоптили. Вот, держите, откоптили. Ха-ха, вот так.
Reloads, but
Смотрите, мы их откоптили. Вот, держите, откоптили.
between the two teams, different playstyles not working out, and I think Sicarios now need to think, okay, we've got one.
Смотрите, мы их откоптили. Вот, держите, откоптили. Ха-ха, вот так.
Let's actually like go for a brawl. I forget what the map is now. Is it Himmelsdorf? I'm pretty sure. Himmels then Ensk, yeah.
I'm trying to recall. So the first round on Westfield, Sicarios. No, the first round was not Westfield. It was, what was the Cliff? First round on Cliff, Sicarios wanted to brawl. CASHBACK didn't. They won that game. Second round, I think it was again something. I mean, not really.
CASHBACK went in on lower side with 2 CSs and a BZ.
It wasn't really either team looking to brawl it out.
Yeah.
Then we had the first Westfield. CASHBACK wanted to brawl. Sicarios didn't. They lost. Second round. Sicarios actually, you know,
wanted to brawl.
Kind of, but BZ's towards the never.
Yeah, BZ's towards the city is really.
They
weird.
never really set up for a full brawl. Like they never really tried it. And these 2 rounds, they didn't try it at all. Twice and they lost. So every time they played like this, they just hardcore lost.
Yeah, and now we're on Himmels. I mean, Himmels is a map where you don't really have brawls, right? You kind of have teams taking positions and. You can brawl on the 1-2, you can brawl on the hill, but it's a lot less common. It's especially in the recent meta, it's been like kind of either teams go aggressive mid, or one team takes the hill, one team takes the 1-2 line, and you kind of play off those positions. So we'll need to see. These teams aren't Mafia, who typically go to the middle quite a lot on Himmelsdorf, you know, with like kind of BZs and Bliskers. Same with W. W tend to do that quite a bit. So we'll need to see what the playstyle is. I feel like we're going to see Sicarios playing 1-2 line. CASHBACK, I'm not really too sure.
Could be anything, to be honest. The CS on the hill has gotten a lot of momentum in recent times. A lot of teams playing with that.
Yeah, the small strike is powerful. And obviously the hill is, since the beginning of time in World of Tanks, the hill has always been powerful on Himmelsdorf. So, but I feel like Sicarios, if this goes to a tiebreaker, I feel like they don't beat CASHBACK on Ghost Town.
I don't think we're getting to a tiebreaker.
Well, neither do I. I'm talking about possible scenarios. Different universes.
It's not a scenario I'm currently considering, let's put it that way.
Well, if this happens, all of your predictions are right and mine's wrong. So I'm hoping, honestly, Sicarios, let's go.
It would be very curious to see, you know, it would be really weird. Sicarios pick up 2 rounds and then lose the next 6 straight.
Подпишитесь на Кустича. Вот, смотрите, бумага. Не забудьте подписаться.
Yeah, rigged, so you can win.
Подпишитесь на Кустича. Вот, смотрите, бумага. Не забудьте подписаться.
They are getting some of that 10,000 gold that Phil has assured me exists and that I've not received yet.
I think you got bamboozled.
I think so as well. I've got it. I've got the PMs that game. I'm telling you, the files will be released. The Phil files.
Love to see these. But yeah, no, Himmel's coming up between these 2. Sicarios now looking dire.
Shaky.
They have to win this round to start with, because if you give CASHBACK a 5-2 match point, I mean, sorry, you may win 1, but you're not winning 3 in a row.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I feel like it's do or die at the moment for Sicarios. I mean, Himmels is a fair map, right? It's not really. It's kind of similar in a way to Cliff, where you either put your tanks in the middle, 1-2 or the hill, and then based on the info you get, you make decisions. But it's one of those maps where it's as old as time. These teams, they know every rock, every rubble pile, every hole down, every possible position. So I think we got a fair contest here. If Sicarios can't do it, then they don't deserve it.
Bliska banned by CASHBACK, Forge B banned by Sicarios, gives us double 60 DP, triple 50B, you know, double 60p, double 50B a drive, it's a type and a CS for Sicarios.
That's a bold lineup. 60 TPs kind of favored by W at one point, but we don't often see them. CASHBACK, An interesting one. One type, one CS, double 430U, and triple E4 might be a 1-2 play by them. E4s and 430Us tend to be very strong on that 1-2 line. Sicarios definitely want to play more of a slow game with the 60 TPs. We'll see if they want to go and take the hill in the beginning.
CS going towards the hill, no surprise there. Aphrodite going towards 1-2 line in return. And it's sort of a split battle again for Sicarios. You know, 50Bs on the 7 line. Dravid's going towards the 3 line of like. Needs to be very careful with that, because there is 430Us pushing down 1-2 line, and Adi taking one from one of the E4s. And CASHBACK will get that 1-2 line control. Alex taking one from Squeezy, but trading it out. Like still holding, could peek from Aphrodite. The 430U is now driving down, and CASHBACK will settle into this 1-2 line control. Good shot from Adi though.
Yeah, that means a horrendous opening. Like should trade that one. Yeah, the Bs are going, but they're going into Akka, and it's not that great of a trade. But if they can catch him unawares, it might be good hill control for Sicarios. Sicarios aren't in a bad position here, you know.
Akka is gonna get found here.
Yeah,
Akka
for free. Do they have to clip?
They do. He did load HE, which is a good move on Akka because it's the last shot, to be honest.
They don't have to clip.
They don't have to clip. No, you're right. They don't have to clip.
He healed over
Aka's
the
about to blast click with HE as well, and Barbarian and Liberty reacting by pushing this type 5 of Adi immediately. And he did pen. You see 1082. That's another one from that type 5. That's a big alpha on those high explosives. And I wonder if he's going to get one more out of this, because he's about to be reloaded. Click's now coming back in. Who reloads first, Akka or Click? Another one! Another 1K! That's 3K from Akka in that scenario. And those Bs, it looked so good, but now it looks so dire as Barbarian and Liberty are banging on Adi. This was not a fight that was going to go any other way than these 430Us is beating through this type 5, you know. The type 5 in return though from Akka, paying dividend, and a big one at that. The shareholders are pleased.
Yeah, stonks. And now the thing is, Like is not in a good position. Alex, God knows what happened to him in that window, down to 400. Alex should never be this low HP in that window, and that means he can't really cover Like to such a good degree. Barbarian doesn't connect it. Nice strike coming out, but still Like he's going to be out traded here. Takes one, Barbarian might give another. He is stunned, so doesn't connect that one. Like, it's a bold one to decide to peek this. I think he can't really go back because of Squeezy, and E4 doesn't. Ooh, Liberty doesn't connect, so Like wants to over peek. Does connect it, but takes one in return, and Liberty does have the reload.
Yeah, he has the ability as well. Pops it and will not reload actually, because he had to activate it. It's gonna be Like to get the better of him. Barbarian did back away. Reshrek's now coming in, but that is, to be honest, for show at this point, because there is no winning this round anymore. Barbarian pulling back in towards the train station as well. Little getting Like, and it's dire for Sicarios, losing this round as well. Those 50Bs, man, missing a shot. They had one shot too little. Did they?
I'm not sure if they. I want to recheck and do the maths to see if
I mean, they have 1680 clip potential.
Yeah, times 2.
Each. Yeah.
Which is what, 3,320?
I mean, yeah, something like that.
Quick maths.
20? No, it's 3,360. No.
Yeah, sorry, 68 plus 80.
Смотрите, мы их откоптили. Вот, держите, откоптили. Ха-ха, вот так.
No, 10 minutes is a big stretch, bro.
Подпишитесь на Кустича. Вот, смотрите, бумага. Не забудьте подписаться.
How much does that type 5 HP have again?
I think he took a hit though already. He was over 3k. He was over 3k for sure.
I feel like one of them may have bounced.
But the thing is that
he does heal a bit.
Akka hit the HE, which gives him full ability, and then he popped the heal. And the heal is what, 200? So, yeah, I mean, I wish we could see the pen rates on the
American Akka, side. That's 3,278 damage.
Yeah, that's in 3 shots. Yeah, it's a very nice trade, triple connections, and hitting those as well, because you need to hit the side.
No, I know, the 50B is spendable from the front really easily.
Oh, is that in the corners?
The driver's plate. I mean, I don't know what's driver's plate. So you have the frontal hull, and then towards the left of it, the side plate is pennable.
Yeah, the side plate.
Yeah, the machine gun ports are also pennable with HE.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he did good. I'm not sure. I do need to rewatch it to see. Maybe they got unlucky on the damage rolls. I'd be surprised. I thought Reject might have hit a strike as well, but didn't.
I mean, the fact he doesn't die on the first clip makes that from a good trade to like a disaster.
Trade.
Yeah, his click takes 2k because of that.
And you look at Addy, who was traded on the other side. He got another shot. He got a shot early when they were crossing, and he still did less damage than Aka when he got pushed by the 430Us. So it just makes it such a worse trade. And then from that position, there's nothing they can really do. I mean, Reject had a really bad game on the hill. I would have anticipated him to have a much better game. And I'll say this now. What on earth happened to Alex, by the way? He traded 1-for-1.
Speaking against E4s with a 60p.
That's what happened. he wasn't trading. He was just donating.
But it's like the classic 60p. You know, you think they're gonna bounce, but 375 does not bounce to 60p when it peaks.
Because we saw him in the beginning. He peaked against E4, traded 1-for-1, and then when we went back to him, he was on 400. So that's some very good shooting on the cashback side, or some very bad peaks by Alex. But yeah, I mean, the main thing about this game was obviously the tight play with the HE connections and the fact that they weren't able to clip him out. I mean, that's disastrous, the fact that they weren't able to clip him out. Taking 1 HE for a full type, that's fine. Taking 3 HEs for a full type, that's expensive.
Yeah, no.
Plus strike, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a fine trade to kill that type 5. The 50Bs could reload, they could back away, they could do whatever, you know, like you still have a playable game, to be honest. You have the hill, they can't really cap, you got control over the middle strike at that point.
I mean, the 430U still would have pushed that type.
Yeah, they would have still killed them, but you would have had the better trade.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's match point for cashback. Not expected, right? After, you know?
Yeah, not really expected. I mean, Sicarios definitely had especially since the beginning, but Sicarios definitely had some potential in that last one. But now we go into this one where Sicarios now can't mess up. This is it. This is the whole thing.
I don't know. I do not see it. Sicarios banning the Fush B, Cashback banning the 430U gives us this lineup of Cashback. Very interesting. BZ, if it stays like this, Mivi, double CS, double Blitzka, and a 268.
Double CS, double Blitzka, 268. 268's a bold one. Sicarios sticking with the double 60 TP. Not sure about that one based on the previous game. Double 50B, 1 Dravik, 1 CS, and 1 E4. Don't hate Sicarios lineup. I kind of like the 60 TP, but after watching what happened to Alex, they didn't even put him in the 60 TP this time. He's been put in the E4. you know when you just watch your teammate, you see him just do such a bad thing, and then you just put him in a different tank the next game.
Yeah, it's like when you see one of your players do bad in autoloaders, and you're like, well,
no, you play IS7 now.
From now on, you are demoted.
Yeah, you play in the group of heavies. No 50 BLCS for you. Yeah, I've had that experience.
Squeezy and Reshek spotting each other out. Squeezy still committing. Going towards that strike. Aphrodite committing on the secondary strike. Ooh, he's dead.
Yeah, and that's double hit. Aphrodite's no HE connections this time. Click even pops the ability preemptively, and now Aphrodite's completely dead. And there is no trade on the cashback side. That's it. There's no return. That's a freebie.
That was very free. Cashback trying something. Maybe it's because they're 5-2. They're like, we can try something, but this trial is running into a lot of error.
Yeah, back to the lab for this one. I mean, maybe they thought they could be dominant, that Sicarios would be a bit afraid of them at this point. You know, losing 5 in a row, you can be a bit of a bully, but now Barbarian, he's just going to run into 3, and if he doesn't make it away on time, that's going to be a 2-tank advantage.
Hey, bro, give them an opportunity to push out 1-2 though when they spot this.
That's true, but you don't catch anything from that.
He's backing away.
Yeah, he won't even see. I mean, it's logical that they send the 50 Bs up the hill, right? This is a logical decision by Barbarian. They're already pushing down 1-2, which is good.
A lot of damage though.
True. God knows what gave him that much damage. Actually, it shouldn't really be the Bliskers, but yeah, taking 1-2 control. Alex doesn't connect it as well. No more E4 for you, sir, but not that much damage taken on the crossing.
No.
Nico and Like do connect the shots, but Alex is in trouble now.
Oh, Mindbreaker ends up missing the shot against Alex, which is a shame. If he would have hit, that would have been huge. Alex now hits the shot in return, and the push is coming here from CASHBACK, and Sicarios is scrambling.
The 50
to get
Bs are on
back.
time though.
I don't think CASHBACK wants to push anymore. They're also a little bit far away from each other. Look at Barbarian's position and look at the Dravid's position. The strike now coming out onto Mindbreaker as well. That hits on both of those, like re-pushing. The 50Bs coming back in. Mindbreaker backing away. There is a strike from Squeezy available. Will it be put on towards Like and Alex? That's a good question. Probably should. Now Liberty getting pinched as well from behind. Click and Milo pushing in, and I think Sicarios has found the opening that they need. A good kill there from the 50B on towards the back of that. Bliskovica does not give him an opportunity to get another shot out. And yeah, CASHBACK very far away from each other at this point. There's Dravis and 50B so far out. Sicarios realize that they make a good repush and they will extend their life by one more round at least.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta test, sometimes you gotta go back to the drawing board, and
it's just I just wish they would test when my prediction's not on the line. You know, like.
it was all of your predictions on the line. It doesn't make a difference. You all went 6-3.
Really?
Yeah, all of you went 6-3, so it doesn't make a difference.
No,
you all would have.
I had 6-2, no?
No, all of you went 6-2, but now it will be 6-3.
Okay.
If it's 6-3. So
yeah,
okay. Your predictions wouldn't change. It's just you would get more than me.
I don't
basically.
care anymore. Whatever. You know, like, yeah, now I'm over it. You know. Yeah. I didn't see that the other ones had 6-2 as well.
I only win OLS seasons, so it's fine. You know, these short races.
Buffing on the copium, bro.
But yeah, this is just one of those throwaway rounds. There's not really much you can say here. I mean, they threw away Aphrodite, and then that was it. Game over. We go next, you know?
Yeah, it was a freebie.
It was too much, you know? You're reaching. You're really reaching at that point, you know? And it's an unnecessary thing, right? You take the strike, he runs away, then what? Right? You have a strike, and you're risking a full tank for nothing. Especially when in the previous game, right? They've played 50Bs in every bloody round. They played 50Bs on Westfield. They played double 50B on both of the Tundras. They played 50B on the previous Himmels. Yeah. At some point, you got to predict there's going to be 50Bs.
Mm-hmm. So, looking at it, it's 5-3. Maybe CASHBACK wanted to try it, see how it goes. You know, no better training than a live training. Didn't end up working though. There was no real opportunity in that round. Not when the Dravis and the 50B were so far away from each other.
Yeah, there's literally no trade. The only trade is like one shot from Aphrodite plus small strike plus big strike, and that's next to nothing. And from that point, you know, the extra gun, you can kind of just, you know, if it's 15v15 and you lose a guy for free, there's potential. In 7v7, it's just not realistic, just because of the way 7v7 is. The less tanks you have, the more important every single tank is. So it just allows Sicarios to kind of bully CASHBACK into a corner, and that forces them to do a 1-2 repush, and they didn't catch anything. Sure, Alex traded a little bit bad in the beginning, but he still ran on time, and they reinforced it. From the point that Sicarios reinforced Alex, they always had one gun up. So this was never a realistic game for them.
What is the next map? What came after him?
Ensk.
Perfect timing. Ensk indeed. Okay.
I missed the choo-choo train sound.
You can always unmute the tab banter.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it still there? Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go. Listen, this is a whole new system, right? I take 4 to 6 weeks to adapt to new things, okay? You should have seen how I was when the Tessac came out.
Aye. Probably in overload.
Exactly, I was crying. But Ensk, I don't see it for Sicarios. I don't see it. Ensk, it's such a close-range map. It's a map that the kind of CIS, the formerly CIS region teams are so good on, right? When I played 50v15, Ensk was my permaban, because it's hard to do tactical things because the map is so small. And I think that really favors CASHBACK. I think they're going to slowly out-trade Sicarios and then just go for the knockout punch.
I believe it ends here. You know, this is the final hurdle for
so
Sicarios.
Maybe we're wrong, though.
Could be wrong. I think
be.
for Sicarios, if they do end up losing this round, there's a lot to look back, because having the 2-0 lead turn into a match point for your opponent is...
Yeah, it's not the most fun. But we'll need to see. I mean, content extensions happen. And Sicarios, they showed... I mean, they got lucky in the previous game, right? To be honest, they could have won both demos. If they had the clip potential to just kill that type in the first one, this could have been a different game. Same with this one. This one, they just got the freebie. It was kind of the same round twice. It was just they ran into a type last time. So... But you can't rely on gimmicks all the time. And especially on a map like Ents, which is so small. Right? We saw in the game of Dopamine versus CASHBACK yesterday, right? The Type 5 snuck up behind the 100. That doesn't happen often, because this is a very small map.
Type 5 banned by Sicarios, CASHBACK banning the 50B. They learned, they knew what Sicarios wanted to do.
AI learning. But yeah, going into lineup, Sicarios, double BZ, 1E100, 1140, Blisker, and double Fosh. So the first time we've kind of seen Foshes today.
That's true. But that's a sack again for CASHBACK. Triple E4, Mouse, Drabats, BZ. Let's see if Liberty can get a lot of info here in the beginning.
I'm surprised by the BZ picks. I'm not a fan of them on this map. I think BZ's only work if you get a specific engagement, right? If it's a slow game, if it's a trading game, BZ's are bad for it. You want them to go in, take the hits, and then other tanks are dealing the damage, but we'll need to see that boosting the 100. Amazing.
So worth.
Yeah. I would pick 2 BZs to push an E100 to get into the cap 2 seconds faster.
Yeah, Liberty's going straight towards the information tower. I think that guy, right now Sicarios thinks it's either a CS or a light, you know? They're not sure because nobody was spotted yet. Okay, so they took the triple cap, right?
It will get the info point at some point, and Akka can always peek, and that's the nice thing about having that mouse in the J6 position. So much HP, so even if he peeks and trades negatively, he's still going to be able to...
He's thanks in the cap. I mean, there's a BZ behind him. He's peeking for free from the backside as well. Even these E4s may peek, and I think CASHBACK now realize a very important factor is that Sicarios is going to be scrambling to cover this BZ in the north. And
it's so cheeky. It's so cheeky by Mindbreaker, though, you know. Boost over to B5, give a free shot, boost away.
That's a triple strike, hitting home. The mouse does not get to hit, and you can see Sicarios reinforce that northern area, but Mindbreaker already gone. Perfect movement from him. Click, peeking out, takes a shot of damage. Does some shots back.
Big one on the crossing as well, but he falls. The thing is, I'm curious what the plan is, right? Because, yeah, there's this triple cap pressure, but at any time, Barbarian can just block the cap. Which he will do in a moment.
Really good damage from Alex, though. Aphrodite loses his driver as well. The Fosh B now starting to aggro back in the north at the sack. Crossing over, the E4s coming back in the south. They want to pincer something, like taking some damage, but you got to remember, he has his ability going, so he's going to be healing quite a bit of that back, and the E4s are trying to cover towards the cap, towards Barbarian. That's a little, but he is continuously getting shot by Alex in that 140. Now the Force B coming in as well, and Little and Aphrodite have bled a lot of HP for this. It has to be over the north at CASHBACK somehow in this round. Liberty tries to flank Like, but Like going to for the face, but the sack stretched straight through that, no problem. And now the BC's re-pushing towards the north together with Adi. It's Miku, Risha coming in towards Squeezy, but the sack is waiting and lingering in the side. He will do a lot of damage for this as well if he catches a BZ on the side, but it is a Sicarios potential victory in this northern part of the map at the very least. The Squeezy should die. Aphrodite is dead to Click, and that is the sack coming in with 1,000 damage towards the back of Rishek. The bigger problem right now for CASHBACK is Akka. He has all of the HP, 3,300 located on that mouse.
Yeah, and Liberty also has a decent chunk of CASHBACK's HP. He is dealing decent damage, you have to say it. That's the thing, you ignore the Tessak at your own peril. Nice shot by Miku under the rails, connects it into Mindbreaker. Miku kind of needs to take the shot, but Mindbreaker doesn't connect into Reject, which might mean Reject might go and make the kill under the rails. He's aiming for it. You can see it there, but doesn't connect it. Now Liberty going for Click, takes a shot, and Liberty down to a one-shot. This is a very close game at the moment, but all that HP on Akka is going to be a real concern.
It froze for me for a second. We're back. Yeah. Liberty still playing off against Click. trying to drag it out for as long as possible. Doing a good job at that, but that means his teammates got to do something, especially this big fat mouse of Aka with 3,400 HP needs to move in, but Barbarian finds a recheck. Glick gets the better of Liberty. Alex gets the better of Barbarian. Mindbreaker misses the shot against Alex. Alex doesn't have a strike anymore. Mindbreaker can get striked. He does get striked, and he is dead. And it's Aka on 2,800 HP, and Sicarios is going to bring it back one more round, man.
Yeah. I'm a bit confused why Liberty face-checked Click. That was a bit of a weird one. But now, still playable, but very, very hard. And you can see Adi now going to pressure this strike. The other strike can't really be taken. Miko has a lot of HP, so he's going to try and go hunting with the 140 for little. Adi just aiming this corner. Will try and give one in, connects it. Mouse connects as well, Aka, but with ability, so it's a little bit less damage. But what's really important now is not really Aka, it's what's going on the other side of the map. It's if they can find Little, because if Miko and Alex can find Little, Aka doesn't stand a chance.
Aka will peek Miko though, from a good angle. Give him that much. It is a good peek from Miko. Oof, Aka
Doesn't connect it.
Missing, and Little was waiting for Miko to go around the corner back, but he did not end up going. You could see in the south is the E4. Alex now moving towards that strike on the east. That's not that good for Little.
That it is not. Miko does get spotted though. Little connects into his back, but now that's info on where Little is. So that means Alex will go hunting. And you can see Miko's in a bit of an awkward angle. Aka trying to find it, but with that little bump on the building, it's not great. Adi peeks, gives a nice big one. Aka doesn't return it, so he's now on reload, forced to back away, and it's such an awkward game for Aka, being that big lumbering mouse, because the strike is being taken by Adi, and once that's taken, Little, he's done for.
Does Adi use a blind? Probably not, to be honest, but now Little faces the music. It's starting to sound louder and louder, the saxophones in his head.
Saxophones? Do you have saxophones in your head?
No, but Aka gets a shot from Miku. And Miko gets one from Aka as well. A Little now pushing up, gets spotted out, and he's about to die. There comes the strike. It's actually the shot from Click to find it, and now Aka, the last one standing. Sicarios gonna bring it back one more round. They're not done just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. It was a decent round, actually. Just a frustrating one. CASHBACK looked so much in control in the beginning, but there was, during the mid-game, some really small errors on the CASHBACK side, which allows Sicarios to come back. And the fact that Aka had so much HP for so long, just being out of the game, really caused CASHBACK some issues. And just, you know, having so much HP on that mouse, and he's just not in the game. He probably dealt decent damage, around 5k, I'd estimate, but just didn't have a major impact.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic... I mean, the E4 has bled a lot in this side, but
yeah, they did. They bled a lot to strikes, also to Alex.
Strikes,
Alex
140, Click, all of it basically.
Yeah, it was really unnecessary bleed by them. They didn't need to. And in the north as well, I think there were some errors by the CASHBACK players in the north. I don't know what happened. Where was Squeezy in this game? I didn't even see Squeezy at all. He has so little damage. I'm not really sure where he died. I think he died in the north against the PZs. Didn't have the greatest game, but yeah, I don't know. I thought this wasn't the greatest tactic by Sicarios, to be honest. I thought they were being bled down, but there was a moment and a lot of bleed done onto CASHBACK that was successful, that allowed Sicarios to win it. Oh, can we talk about, by the way, saxophones in his head? Do you have saxophones? That specific instrument?
Gotta stick with the trends, buddy.
Yeah, the modern trends. It's not violin anymore. It's saxophones.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but Sicarios, you know, they're defying expectation. We anticipated it with NTIA, but it hasn't.
You're really not up to date with like the youngsters. You know, you never heard of the saxophones are getting louder.
No, I live in the real world.
Man. If you watch some reels,
I have a job.
If you watch,
I don't watch reels. I go out and meet friends for drinks.
You don't watch reels.
I go and I watch reels on Facebook. I'm not even kidding.
That still counts, yo. That still counts.
Those are TikTok reels that have been on Instagram for a month that are now on Facebook. These are different.
No,
No, I don't know. The saxophones are getting louder. What's that even mean?
It's okay, banter.
Put me in Keyhands camp if you want. I'm sorry, we live in the real world.
Keyhands camp, you mean going to do your grocery shopping in a wheelchair?
Listen, if you don't have to walk, why walk?
Smart Keyhan is living the life, Second round of ends though. I mean, you know, I don't know how much CASHBACK was trying on the second Himmels, like if they really was trying a strat or they believed it, but right now, one more and tiebreaker, you know, you'd want it to be a bit more convincing, especially after winning 5 straight rounds, you know, and then giving them 2 back, letting them into the match again.
Yeah, I mean, in this last round, I don't think this opener was very good by Sicarios, to be honest. Boosting an E100 to the middle, and then the mouse is just kind of farming. I mean, I don't think that's a good opener. Right, I think if you boost an E100, you're getting next to no benefit. And then you just have 2 BZs, which are pretty crap, right? But CASHBACK, maybe it's overconfidence, but they're bleeding a lot. The Dravik in the north, who just kind of died next to for free. The E4s in the south, which bled a lot, but either way, let's go into this one.
E4 banned by Sicarios, CASHBACK banning the Bliska, getting us a Dravitz E100, double type, a CS, and double push B for CASHBACK.
Yeah, it's a bold, heavy metal lineup. Sicarios, 50B not being banned this time, so it comes out every round by them. It's 50Bs, double type, K91 with the radio equipment, and double Fosh B themselves. It's an interesting lineup on the Sicarios side. We'll need to see if they can use it effectively against this very heavy lineup by CASHBACK.
Yeah.
Decently heavy.
No, pretty. Like, even the Fosh Bs are like a heavy, you know?
Yeah, they heal.
Squeezy is going to A0. CS is spotting the crossing in the beginning. Doesn't really see that much. Doesn't really see anything at all. He will find them on the second crossing, so it's all good. You know, spots out 4. And they know.
Yeah, Rijek gives 1, which is good. Nice little freebie. So you trade for the info, and every shot you give into that CS, he doesn't heal. Alex gets info in the beginning. Squeezy hasn't been spotted, but the E100 of Aphrodite has been. Akka now lit, so they don't know about Squeezy in that A0 corner. But Aphrodite's position is interesting.
E100 now coming towards the west as well, together with the rest of the CASHBACK tanks. And they may actually fancy a little bit of a brawl here towards this, but they gotta be careful about not doing it disjointed. Could peek from Little, pops the ability as well. Miku doesn't want to use his yet. Now Little needs to go back. Ooh, never mind about the good peek. I take it back altogether.
Yeah, but Little did have ability active the whole time, so he will heal a lot of that back. And now we see the charge of the super heavies down the middle. The Dravik moving in, so Mayo's going to kind of get caught. The K91 is further back. But the thing is that Sicarios can't really capitalize on this city play. But CASHBACK can't really find anything either. And if they bleed a lot from angles, which they are doing at the moment, this could go not well. Yeah, Mayo's getting caught, but it's only by Squeezy, and Mayo will trade decently favorably for that, like he's being collapsed upon. But Akka is bleeding quite a lot from that, but now look, Reject crossing for the open. Will they opt to HE him in the side? E100 connects it. Will Akka hit this HE? He does. 1,000, and they're collapsing in on the city in the meantime.
Good strike though in return on towards the Super Heavies, Liberty and Little, of which Little has already perished. Liberty is dying as well in that CS63, the autoloaders. He cannot face them. -2 tanks there for the side of CASHBACK. Sicarios, yeah, Milo facing off against Squeezy. Squeezy backing away. He's going to take another one for this. He wants to play on the strike to take that one. It's a good play. He does just about get around the rubble pile. Starts taking that strike as well, but the K91, no mini strike. Light goes down as expected. Milo misses the shot, and Squeezy now dominating this exchange between the two, to be honest, in that drive. It's Alex trying to do what he can in the K91, but the trades need to be amazing for him to actually do something, and so far they're not amazing. Mindbreaker wants Miku. Rishek peeking out as well, trying to cover Miku, but it's not happening. He gets flanked by Barbarian as well. The strike comes out. Barbarian with another kill, and the dying moments of Sicarios. For a moment there, it looked like maybe, just maybe, they were getting a foothold back into this match, but the reality is no different than what it was looking like 2 rounds ago. It is a CASHBACK victory, not 6.
Смотрите, мы их откоптили. Вот, держите, откоптили. Ха-ха, вот так.
I feel like there was potential in this round for Sicarios.
Подпишитесь на Кустича. Вот, смотрите, бумага. Не забудьте подписаться.
While Like was still alive, but just
Подпишитесь на Кустича. Вот, смотрите, бумага. Не забудьте
have that much of an impact in the game in that K91. And
I don't know if this K91 did that much.
No, I don't think he did much either. I think he got bullied away. I saw he took 1200 and then kind of ran away and then tried to poke.
I also don't think Rishak needs to go through the outside there to get
I don't think so
for
either.
1,000 plus. You know, like there's a few things there which I mean, Alex is 4.4. Okay.
Some of that was in the late game though, and bear in mind 1,000 strike damage as well was on the super heavies. But yeah,
but there was
I
don't know if you noticed it, but Click got caught out on the one line as well.
I didn't see it, but
he was in the first
isolated.
he got caught by Barbarian, and Barbarian did run away from the city afterwards as well. So it's like he kills Click, and then he runs, and then he comes back with level 3 ability, and he makes 4 kills. So it's like kind of impactful. In a way.
Yeah, it is. The fact that you don't, if Barbarian doesn't live there, those super heavies are kind of surrounded in a 360-degree crossfire. Autoloaders from the city, the K91 from the south.
Yeah, and if Rishek, for example, doesn't take a HE shell, which I don't think he needs to take, Yeah, there's a few things there. Also, Milo got dominated by Squeezy.
Yeah, the engagement wasn't bad in the beginning, but the moment that Squeezy backed away and went for the strike, it's a hard engagement for the type, right? Because Dravik is so good in that position, in the hold down. He's also taking the strike. He's using the rubble piles, but I don't think that wasn't a decisive engagement, right?
I think it's all the small things adding up.
Yeah, it's all the small things added up. The main thing is obviously the city engagement, not catching Barbarian, and bleeding so much to win it, right? Because it was a 4v3. Barbarian runs away. It's a 4v2, but obviously Reject takes that high amount of damage from the middle, so it's kind of you kill 2 tanks, but you're losing the combined HP of 3 tanks.
But for Sicarios, I guess I don't think they look at this tournament back with too much disappointment, to be honest.
No, getting into the semi-finals, beating JWL, who are kind of this Chinese super team with some EU players, taking CASHBACK almost a tiebreaker, right? Recovering it a little bit in the end. No, I think they can go out with their heads held high, especially with how strong this CASHBACK team has been in the groups in the previous playday. So yeah, they won't make it to the finals, but you can still say well done to them.
I mean, like their whole run into this was kind of a miracle run, right? Weekend loses a game which you never think that they're going to lose. Then they make it in because of that. They beat JWL, which was a really close match, but nonetheless, if anything, you could say for them it was a very, very good practice run for OLC, which arguably you would say is the more important tournament for them as well, especially when you look at it with hit and run in the state that it is. I mean, there's a real opportunity here for Sicarios, to do something with that. So I don't think they should look back at it with too much disappointment. There's some stuff they got to look back at and be like, okay, maybe we got to change it up though, because like the tendency not to want to fight and lose seems very, very high. But that is for then. What is coming up though is in a banger of a match. Mafia versus W is the rematch of the OLS finals, but that is going to come up right after a little break with a little bit of replays.
The Alienware 15 brings strong gaming performance in a sleek, durable design, built for versatility across play, work, and everyday life. It's an easy entry into Alienware's iconic design and premium experience, proving that an entry point doesn't have to mean an entry-level experience.
This is the world's most advanced processor. In entertainment, its rendering speeds render other processors obsolete. Powers cloud services for billions. Helps change the course of climate change. And uses AI to accelerate disease detection and cures. We make the world's most advanced processors, but only with your vision can we advance the world. AMD. Together, we advance.
On the left, so that's really new for me. And normally now I'm just looking at Yuki. Never knew your eyes were so green.
Well, it seems like you guys can hear me now. This time around, I promise it wasn't me not pressing a button, but yeah, welcome back, of course, to the AMD Onslaught Summer Arena, the second semi-final. And yeah, Banta, you already made it through a pretty lengthy best of 11. I don't think any one of us saw that coming to a 6-4 conclusion. Nevertheless, though, CASHBACK, I think, at the end of the day, taking the expected victory. Now we are gonna go to Mafia against W, and I think it's fair to say that the winner here is, or at least going into it, the winner there is not as clear-cut.
Yeah, look at that. Recent success, W obviously winning multiple OLSs, so this is an absolute clash of titans, especially with kind of hit and run collapsing a little bit. We're now kind of down to 3 with Mafia, CASHBACK and W being the top European teams. But yeah, looking at these lineups, these are heavyweights.
Absolutely heavyweights, and I mean, in the past OLS, those two teams were also the two teams that coincidentally made it to the finals, so kind of a rematch. And well, if you're W, you're looking for a little bit of revenge there as well, because Mafia was able to clutch it out there and then. But today might be a different story. Obviously, best of 11 is amongst the biggest best-offs that some of these players will play and have ever played. Of course, Mafia is coming with that experience from past WCI finals, and actually I think all of the players on their roster, because, well, Monster back then was playing against them, but now he has joined forces with, I guess, his different Polish brothers from Mafia. Cliff and Himmelsdorf banned out by either team. To be honest, I'm a little bit sad to see them go, personally, because I really like seeing those maps, but then, of course, it's just really about the order of the maps that are being played. So we're going to start on Westfield, we're going to go to Tundra, we are going to see Pilsen as well, fully, that we know already, but after that, Ensk, Sand River, Ghost Town, if we need to go all the way. So yeah, Westfield and Tundra to start it off. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, very sad to see Cliff and Himmelsdorf go. They're the classics. We're seeing a lot more Tundra and Westfield in the OSA. We don't typically see them in the OLS, but here they've been chosen in almost every single game.
I mean,
I like them both.
We don't see, or we didn't see Westfield in the OLS because there it literally wasn't in the map pool.
It was there one season, no?
Yeah, it was there, I believe, the previous 2 or even 3 seasons, but for season 6 it wasn't there. So it now made its return for OSA. And to be honest, I think another reason why we didn't see Westfield or Tundra, maybe at least during the first phases and stages of this event, was that there was a lot of cross-server matches going on. And now, I mean, today, all the teams knew already going into this that they were going to play on home server, on home turf, with, I guess, home advantage for either of them. Matches are being played on the EU1 periphery, so yeah, whether it favors Mafia or W, I don't think anyone has a clear-cut advantage. Both of the teams are going to play with home ping.
Yeah, and predictions, I've said it before, I don't understand why nobody rates W. So many OLSs won, they've won WCI, and people still don't rate them, they still go for Mafia. But either way, in the first game of this second semi-final, BZ being banned by Mafia, W banning the 50-bit.
And this means that Mafia is going to start with the double MVY triple CS. That's a lot of medium tanks, together with a 430U played by Monster and the Bliskowitza from Rexar, so no light tank either on Mafia's side.
Yeah, Monster being an immediate starter. Kind of curious who he benches. A lot of strike potential, so they'll be playing that field side. No light tank though, which might be a bit risky. W, they are going with that light tank, 140 Batchat. Is that an Object 277 I see? One of my least favorite tanks in the game. Double M5Y and a Dravik 277. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
First of all, W with the light tank, they do get 3 tanks with the plane, but this in turn means that Klurf, of course, doesn't get the replane. He immediately goes onto the spotting tower that is going to go full info. Mafia, they don't really care so much about that. Instead, the triple CS immediately through the northern side, and they're going to be matched by Brainbreaker only in that 277. And you said you don't like the tank. Maybe that is because it also doesn't really have a lot of DPM. He was able to do first, now a second shot, but Conrad does have the medkit available, and now Yuzek and Kono will be able to peek him from the sidelines. He was already starting to bleed. A third shot misses. The gun handling of the 277 not the best, and he will just get eaten up by those CS tanks.
Yeah, big strike. We'll see if Kono can dodge that. He does, so it only hits him to Yuzek, and they're opting actually to go and push on that 140, but they're gonna bleed a lot for this. Lukin gets pushed upon. Brainbreaker goes down. Lukin low HP, but he's now safe behind the buildings. In the meantime, we didn't really see it, but that 430U, he managed to run from the field. The double CS now, they're chasing Isles, but Klurf is coming to reinforce, and as the dust kind of settles, not really settles, but as the game slows down, you can kind of see, I'm not really sure who's in the advantage. Lukin will go down at some point, and if he does, that's going to be 2-tank advantage for Mafia.
Well, Lukin, he did have to use his ability as well, so the DPM from the MVY is not going to be that great. Nepal taking another one from Orjek, and Itox failing to retaliate here. So Mafia currently with a tank up, arguably with the better positions around the cap as well, but W is taking an artillery strike as Nepal takes another shot of damage. 7 seconds remaining, but the arty strike, it needs to go down. It does, but it's only going to hit on Conrad, so 15 seconds once again. And the tanks of W, they need to come close. They don't really have any mediums with the baby strike as well, so the resets, they will have to happen the normal way. Lukin finally going down. The plane gets put onto the cap. Profuse gets lit. 1 second remaining, make that 0, and the final reset does come in just in time.
Yeah, Mentos makes the peak. Ios was forced to make the peak as well, but he goes down because of that to Ios. But the thing is, they're not that great of a position because those double CSs, they're getting kind of punished by Klurf. But in the meantime, the aggression, Itox, he has most of the HP on the W side, but he's just being overpeaked. He will heal over a BZ shot threshold, but he's just getting punished by these MVYs. Conrad picks it up. Rexar should finish off Nepal. Yuzek small strike does it actually. And now it's just Klurf and Mentos on their lonesome. A lot of low HPs on this Mafia side, but Klurf would have to pull off a career-defining performance to win this one.
Indeed, the odds stacked against Klurf. Yes, Mentos is taking the artillery strike here with that Batchat, so possibility for resets is there. But if we take a look at the lineup actually from Mafia, there's no one really one strikeable. Ooh, good shot coming in from Yuzek. Playing a rather not normal tank for himself, actually. With that CS, normally you can see him in the super heavies as he does drive towards Klurf, does get blown up. That means Klurf will have another plane available, and he puts it onto the cap. So now the artillery strike from Mentos needs to come in. It is, I think, possibly even placed a little late. Orjek drives out of it, and Mafia get the 1-0 victory against W. It seemed very close for a long time, but I think once again the tank that you were kind of trash talking at the beginning, it was the beginning of the end. Right at the start of the battle for W, that 277 really completely getting picked apart, almost countered by what Mafia was doing with that triple CS through the north.
Yeah, I mean, the point of 277 is the speed. He could have run away and he opted not to. He opted to stay. And the tank is just pretty terrible, right? It has a worse turret than IS-7. The hull is made of paper. The DPM is bad. The accuracy is bad. It has no gun depression. I personally just hate the tank, and he only deals 2 shots. But he was in an unfortunate position. I mean, Monster on the other side got kind of caught in the city. He didn't go down, but he lost a lot of HP for that. So it was kind of an even trade. But from there, Mafia just had that high ground, and they used their MVYs to kind of punish them. You can see Orzech and Profus 3 and 5k between them. Music also had a really nice game on 5k. So I think this was a game that could have gone W's way. I think they need to play a little bit better for Brainbreaker, but still, it shows a close affair between these two. This game was closer at one point than it looked.
Yeah, Mafia just wanted to open up fast and furiously, and that is exactly what we saw, right? Not taking a light tank immediately with the blind CS commit, because realistically, that's what it was. They didn't have any info, and they just kept driving at the 277. I think that is kind of best case scenario, obviously, almost for Mafia.
What's interesting is that W have a higher accuracy rate, but a lower pen rate, if you look at the bottom, which means that Mafia were peeking over the ridge with M5Y, dealing damage, and W were shooting their turrets in return and not dealing damage. So I think that made quite a bit of a difference, especially in the late game with the swing that happened in HP, right? This game was kind of close on HP for a long time. Obviously, Lukin bled too much, Brainbreaker went down very early, which meant the gun advantage was always in Mafia's favor. But I feel like this could have swung in a different direction at one point. I feel if W had been a bit more lucky, and I think Mentos is top damage, but I think if Mentos had an even better game than he had, I think this could have had some potential.
I mean, as well, if you take a look at it, right, you say Mentos top damage, but to be honest, 3,500, that's not even 2 clips. And like with the bat chat, when you're coming into this kind of stuff, the first clip you need to do anyway. There is not even a discussion about it. The second clip, you start going into this, it's an okay game territory, but I think only in the third game is when you start to unlock the carry potential and like the real threat that the bat chat can pose, where you know, you always do almost 2k with a clip, and in Onslaught the tanks have more HP, not only because of the modifier, but also because of the simple fact that you don't need to mount that much gun handling equipment, so a lot of tanks are going to be running stuff like more HP, hardening, and so yeah, 4,000 is like okay score for a bat chat, because you are supposed to be a damage dealer, but only above that do you really unlock the good game potential.
Yeah, definitely. And as well, he was last alive, right, with the light tank, so you kind of anticipate him having a little bit of a better game than that. He was always the backline cover tank, but either way, moving into the next one, Mafia banning the 50B, W also banning the 50B.
And that means that both teams are actually going to be able to play exactly what they wanted to, because they of course planned on having the 50B banned. Mafia starting with the BZ-75, Dravets, double MBY, 140, 430U, and the RHM, so going with the light tank now.
Yeah, W sticking with the light, triple Dravek, Abachat, K91 and Bliska. Gives a lot of control in that lineup. It kind of, you know, you take Bliskas when you want to be aggressive, but their lineup looks, but it kind of looks like both teams want to play field a little bit, but Mafia do have those MVYs that are good for the ridge lines. 140 has the radio equipment as well, which is quite interesting. We don't often see that on a 140 at the very least, but we'll need to see Rexar boosting Uzek.
Oh, so first of all, Klurf hits 4 with the plane. Meanwhile, Kono hitting 4, Klurf only hitting 3. That means Kono gets the replane, actually, as both of the light tanks are orientating themselves towards the southeast. Klurf, avoiding the artillery strike, does want to counter the info tower, but he doesn't really see anything there. Instead, he sees Monster in that 430U, and now Mafia are setting up around the cap. Uzek taking a shot, but he will be pretty invincible almost, I want to say, in that position on the northwest, where he will over time be able to get the info tower, as we do see him completely grab it, and that means full information available for the team of Mafia, as W. Klurf still hasn't gone for the info tower in his RHM, as he is spotted right now. Oof, Ojek there, a shot whizzing past him.
Monster's position is super interesting, actually. He does get spotted, but for a time I think he was sat in a bush there.
What's Mentos doing, actually? Keep in mind, the base is also up and running. 6 seconds remaining, but a small strike for the reset comes in. Lukin is going to pick up a secondary strike for W, so right now it shouldn't be too bad for them, as the artillery strike gets put onto Profuse. That's going to be another reset, but he doesn't connect on Conrad. So still 13 seconds to go, and once again Mafia putting up the pressure. Nepal coming close with that. Dravets wants to block the cap from going. Rexa, another manual reset coming through with a gun, but now Nepal is close, and that means the tanks might be able to overpeak. Never mind, Conrad taking 800 to the